Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
This week, in Hope, Alaska, what seems like half the male population of the state is in love with the same young lady with twisted and terrible results. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us on another wild, crazy edition of Small Town Murder. And this is no different. Whenever we head to a place like Alaska, you know there's craziness going on. It's just, it's
a fascinating place.
It's unruly up there, we'll say.
Yeah.
So before we get to that insane story this week, and this is one of those, you got to listen all the way to the end, because holy hell, it's got a left hook coming at you for when you least expect it, a nice curveball. Before we get to that, very quickly, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. You're going to get everything there, all of your merchandise, tickets to live shows, everybody.
Yeah.
May the 5th, Detroit. Get your tickets.
Detroit!
Come and see us. We cannot wait. And May the 6th in Pittsburgh. Definitely come out and see us. Pretty much everything between that Pittsburgh show and the Chicago show in August is sold out. Everything is sold out. So
It's moving fast.
but Chicago, get your tickets for that as well.
Yeah, let's
August
go
the
Chicago.
12th. Let's do that. April 20th, virtual live show. Oh, my
Right.
goodness. The 420 virtual live show. It's available for a week after that. You can buy it at any point. Watch it as much as you want. I'm going to get Jimmie super stoned with some crazy stuff that I have for him, some apparatus for him to try out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and going to tell a wild murder story, just like a live show, except you're in your living room or on your back patio or, I don't know,
Wherever you are.
in your car in a parking lot. I don't care where you watch it. Watch it wherever you want. Check that out. shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all of that. You also want to go to patreon.com/crime and sports. It's all your bonus material.
Right.
Anybody $5 or above gets access to everything. All of the back. There's like 200 almost bonus episodes you can binge on. And then new ones every other week. One crime and sports, one small town murder, and you get it all. Absolutely. And for Crime and Sports this week, it's a special week, of course. Personal ads are back.
Yeah.
A couple times a year we hit up the personal ads, and they're always a favorite to everybody, so we can't wait for that. Personal ads, hear what people in the 80s tried to say to attract people through the newspaper. We'll hear about that. Then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about in our serial killer childhood series, we're going to dive back into that. And talk about BTK's childhood, and how a lot of it is self-described. And God, he's such a creep. Some of the things he says, it's wild. So check all that out. Patreon.com/crime and sports. That said, I think it's time for the disclaimer here. This is a comedy show.
It is.
We're comedians. We're definitely comedians. There's definitely going to be murder, and there's definitely going to be jokes. But the jokes, see, this is the thing. We don't think there's anything funny about the actual murder. When someone's head is being removed, we're not like, that's hilarious. That's so funny. But there's a lot of other stuff around a murder that is hilarious. For instance, the idea, hey, I think I'll kill this person. I'll probably get away with it. That's no problem. That's a crazy thought to have. As comedians, we're going to make fun of that. We're going to make fun of small towns because we're all from somewhere terrible.
Yeah.
And it's a roast environment. So have fun with that. But what we do not do, what we never do, is we don't make fun of the victims. Or the victims' families.
Why, James?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah, but
we're not scumbags. See how that works? So that sounds good to you. You want to hear a crazy story, you're in for one. If you think true crime and comedy should never, ever, ever go together, maybe we're not. Maybe we're just not a good match for each other, everybody. You never know. But we think maybe you should give it a chance. And if you are, I think it's time to sit back. And where are you right now? What are you doing?
Where are you?
What are you like? Are you deep sea fishing right now for tuna? Is that what you're doing? You're out there?
Oh, pull it in.
Well, someone's got a hold of a good one there. They're leaning over. They can't do it. Shove them right overboard. That's a toss them right over. Watch your little feet go into the water. Swim with the tunas. And as they're swirling down into the deep blue sea, I want you to shout, "Shut up! Give me murder!"
Murder.
We don't actually want you to do those things, by the way. Don't do that, please. Also, definitely, Your Stupid Opinions is coming.
It's
Our
coming.
new show where we talk about reviews of everything from all over the internet and make fun of people's crazy reviews. We can't wait for that. That said, let's go on a trip. What do you say, Jimmie? Let's get into this. We are going all the way up to Alaska this time.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
we're getting out of the continental U.S. here.
Get up there where nobody's looking.
That's it. It's all happening in the shadows up there. So we're doing it. We're going to.
Everybody forgets about it.
Oh, it's because there's not a lot going on. Well, there is a lot going on, but it's just not.
It's all happening.
It's just happening in the woods is the problem. It's all happening in the woods. We're going to Hope, Alaska.
Okay.
Hope. That is a very optimistic name for a town in Alaska. I think there's a good reason for it, too, because it has to do with gold and all that shit. We'll get into it. It's in south central Alaska. It's almost 2 hours to Anchorage, an hour 50. It's just hard to get there through the highway systems aren't great in Alaska. You have to go around shit.
A lot of mountains, goddammit.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 25 minutes to Wasilla, which is the other direction. And our last episode, it is 16 hours
Holy shit.
In one state, you can go 16 hours to Kodiak, which was
Who the fuck do
the
they
last
think
one.
they are? Texas?
It's bigger than Texas. It's
bigger,
huge
yeah.
up there.
It's
16
enormous, yeah.
hours away? That's crazy.
And if it snows, it's 38 hours.
Forget about it. You might just stop. It could be 6 weeks. Till it's whenever spring comes at that point. Check your calendar to see. The county is in Kenai Peninsula Borough. That's the county. Area code 907, which you don't hear a lot of that.
No.
History here, the first gold rush in Alaska happened here in Hope.
Oh.
That's why it's called Hope, I believe, here. This was before the Klondike deal or any of that shit.
Really?
This is the first one. The first gold rush happened in Hope, and this is before Anchorage was even founded.
Oh.
They had a big gold rush in Hope, and it was a boom town. It was like Deadwood or Tombstone or any of those places. So if you watch like Tombstone or you watch Deadwood and you go, Jesus, imagine being one of these crazy bastards that would go out to this middle of nowhere outpost just for the hope of getting some gold. Now, that times 10 if you're going to Alaska back then.
And then add ice.
Add grizzly bears and ice, and it's insanity in Alaska. It's hard to get by up there. The discovery of gold in 6 Mile Creek in 1895 reached Seattle, and that's everybody headed up there. 3,000 people were up there immediately when they heard there was from that area, from the Northwest, because the word got around quick. There's gold up there.
And those people there were already looking for it anyway, so they're already outfitted.
Absolutely, and they all came by boat. They're rowing themselves. Literally, they rowed themselves up there.
The coast.
Yeah, it's wild. A few of the men, when they got there, they were trying to decide how to name the town.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And they said, we'll name it after the next person that gets off a boat. Literally. And they stood on the shore, and the next guy that pulled up on the boat was a 17-year-old named Percy Hope that was there for gold. And they were like, you're the one, buddy. There you go. Hope, Alaska.
Perfect, too.
It could have been some long Polish name. It could have been anything. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I don't like if it was like
What is it?
I don't like if it was like an Italian person with a long name. There's not a lot of Pietragallo Alaskas, you know what I mean? That would be pretty funny, watching people try to, what the hell does this mean up there?
But that sounds like something that would be named there, though, because there was oil, so they had like, gallons of petro sounds like a thing.
But nope, it is a 17-year-old who got off the boat at just the right time. That's
and they were all
wild.
hoping for gold, too.
Absolutely. He was a prospector at 17. So it soon had hotels and stores.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like Deadwood or Tombstone. It was a boom town. And then that was very short-lived, though. By 1898, the Klondike gold rush had happened, and all the miners in Hope packed up for Klondike where there was bigger veins. So they all went there. A lot of the original buildings that they built in Hope are still in use today.
What?
Yeah, they just haven't built anything new. The original schoolhouse is now the library, so shit like that. Today, it's just a woodland area out here. I mean, it is. There's like a general store and cabins you can rent and people who live in the woods, and that's it. The school district is a K through 12 and has about 15 kids in it.
Yeah.
In all 12 grades, there's 15 kids.
Jesus Christ.
So that's a lot.
There might be one third grader.
Maybe. Or 3 fourth
seven.
graders, no third grade. Just that one teacher waiting there. Boy, I'd love to teach third graders today, but there is none. None exist. Wait till next year. Reviews of this town, there are none because there's no people here, but there's few people here. But I did find reviews of the lodge that's here that you can go
Oh,
rent.
terrific.
The Bear Creek Lodge. And it's cabins and it's, nice. Here's one here. Here's a review and negatives. They have some negatives here. Staff checked us in, a kid in parentheses. How dare they hire someone?
A child.
A child. Didn't give us much info. Bathrooms were really cold and shower situation was uncomfortable. Wet bathroom, so no shower mat. Shower rack just sat on floor. Now, the reason is I say this is because you don't have your own bathroom in these lodges. It's a shared bathroom situation where they have like a centralized bathroom.
No.
Which wow, can you imagine going on vacation? If you're camping, it's one thing. You have a tent and, you understand you're roughing it. But if you're living in a structure,
There's a bathroom.
I expect a hole to shit in. That's all.
I expect
something.
A bathroom for just me.
Just for me and mine. Yeah. Now, the positives, wonderful little property with the creek and pond providing a beautiful setting. The cabins were super cute and cozy. Really nice having a coffee shop and restaurant right there, especially since there's not much else around. You're in the middle of the woods in Alaska. No, there isn't. Everything tasted great. Okay. What would you do if it didn't? Still eat it. Live music was nice, too. What the hell kind of bands do you think they're getting to come out there?
I wouldn't say bands. I would say a guy with an acoustic.
Yeah, a guy with an acoustic.
That's what it
and
was.
8 Cat Stevens songs, and he's out there. That's it.
It's not a band.
No. Let's see. Here's another one. It's waking up to such beautiful surroundings was a definite plus. It said, I thought our cabin would have one bedroom and then all the beds in the main room, but it was all in one room. But it all worked out. So there's no bedroom. It's just a room.
It's a fucking cabin.
It's a cabin.
It's a room, right.
Yeah. He expected some privacy. He's like, I didn't get to pork my wife the entire time I was there, which was a negative.
Alone. I mean, I had to do it in front of the kids. But
I did. I think most of the kids were asleep. Most of them. So I think it'll be all right. Very beautiful property, though. Rooms were clean. Bathrooms were clean. And the cafe in the morning was great. So that's nice. And now here's another one. This is 2 out of 5 stars. The page that I looked at on Travelocity did not, in all capital letters, mention on the main page, mind you.
That's where they need it.
That's where they need it, right up front, that the cabins didn't include toilets.
Okay.
Now, as bitchy as this...
There is a toilet.
Yeah, as bitchy as this sounds, I want this information. It should be above the name of the place. Shared bathroom, and then the name of the place. Like, it should be a separate category you have to choose to even have that and come up in your search results. I'd like to sit where a stranger just shit 5 minutes ago.
Right. I need a warning. The toilet seat may still be warm.
Yeah.
I need to know that.
We'll smell
That's
what
weird.
a stranger had for dinner tonight is not what I want to hear.
I don't want to sit down and feel body heat pressing against my cheeks. I don't want it.
See a strange pube? I don't want any part of that.
I need freezing cold.
Strange stray pube over there.
I need an ice cold bowl against my thighs and ass cheeks.
If I'm paying money to go somewhere, it does not include sharing a bathroom.
Never. That's free.
That is wild.
When you're in the woods, like the parks have to maintain it, and if they charge you a fee, there has to be a toilet. Granted, that's shared public toilet, but if I'm paying, I need the toilet.
I want a toilet. Figure it out. Put a toilet in there. I don't know what to tell you. As a senior who requires multiple trips to the bathroom each night. That's if you're older and you got to keep getting up and leaving the cabin, putting your shoes on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This would have been important information to have before deciding to stay there. I thought I was looking at a page for a hotel or resort, not a camping experience. That's rough. I get it.
That would be a terrible thing to realize when you get there.
That is.
That long of a trip. And boy, I got to pee. I just got here and I already got to pee.
This is bad.
And
every
I
time.
pee a lot.
All night long.
It.
You'd never sleep. You'd come back in.
No.
Okay, here's the last one here. Peaceful, tranquil, quiet, relaxing, beautiful. Watch out.
Words.
And then says, watch out for attack bees. Exclamation
attack
point.
Bees.
What is tranquil and relaxing about attack bees? That sounds terrifying.
Not one of those words apply.
Watch out for attack bees. Lizard candy. Be careful. That's what that is. Watch out for attack bees. Need to remove them. Salad is not your best dish. Otherwise, very kind staff and people enjoyed our stay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but attack bees. That's rough. Population of this town, 105.
Oh, boy.
There's nobody here. It's,
13 of them are in school.
Almost 64% male because it's a lot of like logging and fishing expedition jobs here and shit.
Right.
Median age, there is no median age because of the people who actually live here. This can't be right, but the stats they have are everyone in the town is over 75 years old. It's 63% 75 to 84, and the rest are 85 and over, and the rest are otherwise it's 0. So is that possible?
That can't be because they said
there's children.
Kid, right, at school.
But maybe that's in the town proper. Maybe the kids come from like the woods around it. I don't know.
They're bust in from the wolf packs that they live in.
I'm not sure. 100% married.
Okay.
So I mean, with this
60% men.
With this little people, that's what I mean. With this little people, the stats are all 100% white, though. That's one thing it is.
Yeah, we did that.
100% white.
Yeah.
Religion in this town, 33%. And the most prominent religion is other Christian. So I have no idea there.
This place is crazy. All bets are off.
It's all bets are 105 people, and they want to live in places with no toilets inside. This is a crazy town. I don't know what to say here.
They
this
live
is wild.
very Alaska here.
Definitely. Politically, in this county, last election here, 31.8% voted Democratic, 64.5% Republican, 3.6% Independent. They voted for like a bear from the neighborhood.
Yeah, how do you vote?
Just a grizzly bear. They wrote him in.
Yeah, I vote for this plant. It's beautiful.
It's just Sam the bear from the neighborhood. It says 100% of the people here make, anytime it's 100% of the people, that's crazy. 100% of the people make between $20,000 and $30,000 a year. And they're all over 75 years old. I don't think these stats are...
This place is crazy.
It's crazy. Cost of living, 100 is average, regular. Here it's 94.4. Yeah. Median home cost here, $247,400. That's the median home value. It's not bad. So if we've convinced you, damn it, you don't need a bathroom inside anymore. You've been pooping inside enough in your life.
You need to rock the boat in Alaska.
Let's have some adventure when you need to pee at 3 in the morning. Let's go out there and see if an animal will attack you. We have for you the Hope Alaska Real Estate Report. All right, your average 2-bedroom rental, $1,150.
Okay.
Which is about average. Here's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,132 square foot house. This is not in the town itself. There is nothing available in the town. This is in the surrounding areas, which is...
This is a big house out there somewhere.
Yeah, this is in Seward, Alaska, which is, I don't know how fucking far away it is.
There.
It doesn't matter. It's a huge piece of shit, this house, too.
3,000 square feet of shit.
It's a dump. It looks like an abandoned logging cabin from the outside.
Awesome.
It looks not even a cabin, though. It looks like guys built it with scrap wood.
Fantastic.
Whatever they could get, they just nailed it up together. Yeah, it looks like that. But T-ball for every b-hole, so that's nice.
That's nice.
At least there's bathrooms.
Yeah.
$275,000 for that, though.
Wow.
Not too bad. Here's this one here. It's on a few acres. It's 2-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,454 square feet. So not huge, but really nice. It's a really nice house. Like it's pretty. It's nice on the inside. The outside is idyllic. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's this beautiful little house right up on a lake. It's got a boat dock right out there and everything.
Somebody's vacation joint for sure, right?
It has to be someone from Anchorage that does well. $685,000 for this.
Holy!
Which is, I mean, for what it is, you look at it and you go, holy shit, this is paradise. It looks like. I mean, in the summer, I guess. Here we go. Now, maybe you don't want to go up there and just live. Maybe you'd like to, run a lodge. Maybe you'd like your own lodge.
You want to buy a job?
Let's buy a job. We have a 27-bedroom, 29-bath, 18,500 square foot lodge hotel thing. It's in Sterling, Alaska, and they're advertising it as, do you want to have your own place for corporate retreats? Do you want this? Do you want that? It is $5,875,000 for that.
Is it beautiful though?
I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's a place where you'd have I don't know how you're going to fill 27 bedrooms here. Put it that way. I don't know how you're going to fill all these rooms, but you can do it.
Breakfast.
Yeah, you need to have like big groups come here all the time. Mm-hmm. So like a big wedding and a big corporate event
for $5 million.
$5 million. Things to do here. Well, here's one thing to do here. Jimmie, roll your chair over here because I'd like you to see one of these things to do.
Oh.
And
is
that
is sled driven by a fucking bear?
Yeah. One of the things to do would be put on your suspenders and just a dress shirt while there's 3 feet of snow on the ground because it's not cold out or anything.
Yeah, there's no cold.
No coat, and have a fucking bear pull your sled. What a kind of a tough son of a bitch is this guy? That he's broken a bear's will to the point where it will pull him, and he has he has an affinity for the cold. He just has no cold reflex.
Tame me a mouse.
Wow. You can also go to the Hope Sunrise Historical Mining Museum.
Okay.
Yeah. There's stuff about mining there.
Bet there's an old pickaxe there.
It said it's a great place to learn about local history and get insider directions. That's how they advertise this museum. You get good directions there.
We'll tell
Think
you
about
how to
that.
Get around.
Yeah. It's just a pickaxe and a lady who'll give you directions, like you said.
These goddamn Google Maps are ruining our business.
Never mind that. You don't want to know about that. These are the insider directions, it says. Only the ones we know about. We don't let Google go down them roads. Wow. The Resurrection Creek gold panning. Mm-hmm. So since 1895, they've had gold there.
Yeah.
So you can go there and pan for gold. That's it.
Of course.
Yep. There's 2 specific areas where you have the best odds of finding a very small fortune, it says. So you find nuggets and
very small fortune.
They drop some flake in there every once in a while and you go. Yeah. That's all it is. Crime rate in this town. What we're interested in, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no stats.
Because
it's normally like the federal FBI crime statistics that they give. Right. They don't even bother checking here.
We handle it in-house.
Not enough. Yeah. There is more like animal attacks than people attacks. Never mind. Just let it happen.
Well, I imagine so. They're fucking with bears.
They're having bears tow their sleds. What do you expect? So that said, let's talk about a murder, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's get into it early this week because that town there's not a lot there. There's 105 people.
What are you going to do?
Trying to fish and sell each other accommodations with no toilets.
105 people beating bears one by one.
Man. Imagine having the restaurant in that town.
No.
You don't have to even make it good. Well, nothing else for 100 miles. All right, well, I guess we're eating here. Fuck it.
This is it.
Guess I'm having an elk burger.
Food.
Yeah.
It's brown hot and plenty of it.
Having moose chili. Come on up. Let's all do it. So that said, let's talk about this murder here. All right, let's talk about a young lady, first of all.
Okay.
Let's talk about Michelle, shall we? Michelle is with E's. There's no I's in that Michelle. Mechle.
What?
Michelle.
What the fuck is that?
I want to name her Michelle, but those damn I's, I just don't like them. I don't like it when, little kids will dot the I's with like a heart or something. I don't want to give her the opportunity to do that. Michelle.
My name's Michelle with an E. What? It has E's. The whole goddamn thing.
Whole
it's
thing,
all E's.
One L at the end. This is difficult.
If it's not a consonant, put an E.
Put an E. So, old Michelle over here. She's Michelle. To talk about her a little bit here. Michelle Hughes, she is at the time here. Michelle Hughes. She's born in 1973-ish here. So she's born and raised in New Orleans.
Oh.
So as southern as you get down there.
That might be where the E came from.
That's probably it. Yeah, I'm sure there's something there. Her father is the first of her mother's husbands. Both of them ended in divorce. We'll talk about that. Michelle's father was in the Air Force. So when she was very little, they moved from city to city to city. And then she ends up back with her mom living in New Orleans. Her father's going to end up dying. And so, and it's weird because her mother marries an airline employee. So they start moving around and all this type of shit. So Her life is on very unsteady ground. It's on a lot of quicksand as a kid.
Every morning there's a question.
Yeah, what are we doing? Where are we going? Who's this? There's a lot going on here. So her parents divorced when she was 6. And the weird thing is her father moved to California, and her sister Melissa, her older sister, went with the father, whereas Michelle stayed with the mother in Louisiana, which is that's tough.
They generally don't split them up. But when they do, there's usually reasons for it. So that's fascinating.
That's a compromise. That's a 70s, 80s compromise where
it is.
we both want the kids. Well, tell you what, you get one, I get one.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the compromise. Rather than let's do what's best for the kids. That's what it was a different thing. People were a little more selfish, I think, back then when it came to shit like that.
Yeah.
So her mother was from Louisiana, and her relatives lived there, and they lived there for generations and all that kind of shit. So she stays behind with her mom, and she has kind of a rough childhood. She really does. When she's 12, her father will die, or 11, her father dies, which is tough as well, obviously, for a little girl, even though he's gone. He's on the other side of the country. That year, she gets diagnosed with scoliosis as well.
Oh, shit.
Which is, if you don't know, is a curvature of the spine. Right. And this required frequent hospitalization. She spent a year and 9 months in a body brace.
Yeah.
She spent like 12 and 13 in a body brace, basically, which is that is tough. That's tough for a kid at that age.
Not a body cast. She has like the
brace.
Plastic girder. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing like Dee from Always Sunny.
Right.
Yeah. That's what she's got on, like back then, too. It wasn't like sleek and you could wear it under your clothes. This was like, here you go, robot lady. Enjoy. Hi, have all the kids call you a monster. Bye. And just push you out the door. And you go out there clanging and squeaking and shit.
Waddle around with this thing on.
Hold on. Hey, Tommy, I lost a screw. Can you grab that for me? If I bend down, it's going to take a while to get back up again. Yeah, screw fell out.
That is the bummer about anything that was medical that fixed an ailment for children back then.
Horrifying.
Kids are cruel enough, and then you're just gonna make them stand out in this cruel shit fucking school.
Especially in 1985, for Christ's sake. There was no kindness when it came to...
Oh, God.
That's rough. So... Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
A year and 9 months. Doctors ended up implanting a steel rod in her back.
Oh,
she had to get that. That's how bad it was. Which she has a scar all the way down her spine that you can see very, faintly.
It's prominent. Yeah.
You can see. You can definitely notice it's there. But after that, she has perfect posture.
Yeah,
because she's got a steel rod in her back. I mean, she is like straight up and down. Yeah, chin up, tits out, ready for the world type of
They may
posture.
as well have just fused your whole fucking spine. You don't move it.
No, not at all. So she goes through all of that. Now, like her posture never goes away. She always has this great posture. Yeah. So that's when she's like 11 through 13. Mm-hmm. Now at 14, her sister Melissa had come back because her dad died.
Right. Yeah.
Sister came back. Her sister's like 3-4 years older than her, so she has a driver's license. So at 14, Michelle runs away from home with her sister's driver's license.
Oh,
because they look similar. So and with girls, it's hard to tell. I mean, you change your hair color, you cut your hair, they look totally fucking different. Some male cop's going to look and go, I don't know.
Right. They're in Louisiana at this point?
Yeah, this is in Louisiana. Yeah. So takes her driver's license at 14 and runs away to New York.
That's a long ride.
Yeah, she runs away not to New Orleans or to Atlanta or something. She goes all the way to New York City because she wants to be a model.
New York City.
New York City.
Gulf Coast. She went up.
She went up to New York City to be a model.
Wow.
That's what she wanted to do. This is 1987 or so. So she's 14 years old. Her sister's license, after a minute here, she's 18, so she tells everyone she's 18 and has her sister's driver's license, and that's how she's trying to do everything. She just says, I'm 18 and I'm in New York City now, and that's it.
Yep.
That's who she is. So she tries. Now, that's the official story that's actually true. Her mother tells a different story, though.
What's her mom say?
Her mother tells it slightly different.
A little bit different?
A little bit. Her mother tells a story that makes her mother look slightly less irresponsible, put it that way.
Slightly less like she lost a 14-year-old?
Yeah, and more like she was helping her in a career path. It's a really different approach to it. Just a few words really changes the whole thing here.
Can't wait.
Ran away at 14 to New York City pretending she's 18 with her sister's driver's license. Or her mom, Sandy, says that she left home with permission at 16 to work at a pre-set up thing at a modeling agency in New York City.
Yeah, I did this for her.
Yeah, I set it all up, and we put her on a plane, and we went and saw her off at the fucking terminal and hugged her and said goodbye, and I gave her like a loaf of bread to take with her that I baked at home. No, that's none of
a picture of the family. Don't forget us when you make it big.
Well, and Jesus too. There was Jesus and the family. They were both in a locket, and you put them together. So by your heart.
So they're touching.
That's how it works. That's how it's one or the other, Jimmy. I don't know.
Or lost track of a 14-year-old who ended up 2,000 miles away.
That's more like it. That's more like it.
Holy shit.
So she is in New York City for her teen years. For her high school years, she spends them trying to model in New York City and hanging out at like clubs and bars and shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is what she does.
Like Home Alone if Macaulay Culkin wanted to be a model.
Yeah, if Macaulay Culkin had tits. Because she is using her adult body to get into places and things like that.
She matured fast.
Yeah, and that's how she gets into clubs and stuff. That's how it works. So she ends up. There's a guy named Pietragallo. Okay. Pietragallo here. He is her boyfriend from this era.
In New York.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Patty Gigante. How you doing over there? He met her at the Iguana Club on Park Avenue.
It's a
nightclub. It's a fucking nightclub on Park Avenue.
Very popular place.
He met her there in 1990 when she's about 17.
Okay.
And he is in his late 30s, by the way. No, she's saying she's 21.
Of course she is.
So
she's in a place that you gotta be.
Her license says she's 21.
Yeah.
Because she's got her sister's license. By 1990, her sister's 21. So she's, as far as this guy knows, she's 21, but she's actually 17.
9 years isn't a big deal.
I mean,
you're a child? What?
No, he's like 38, though.
Oh, God.
This is not good, man. This isn't good.
Half his age.
Half his age. So.
More than.
And so you think, yeah, he's being it's whatever. But according to what it seems like from the documentation, it seems like legal, creepy, but legal. And,
Technically, yeah, but you were 21 when she was born. That's weird.
That's weird.
You could have a beer. She couldn't even take a breath.
He doesn't know that yet, though.
Oh, Pat.
He thinks she was in preschool when he was 21, which is so much better. But,
Mr. Gigante, it's about to go bad for you.
Well, and he put it this way about her, because they were like, oh, were you corrupting her? And he said, quote, I'm from New York City. I come from a pretty fast place. And let me tell you, she made me feel like I was standing still.
She's faster.
Yeah, that's...
Holy.
Yep, they dated for 3 years, these two. This isn't a fleeting thing. They were together for 3 years.
They broke up and she still couldn't drink.
That is... and he was like, fuck, it's tough being 40.
Yeah, he's like, I got to go for my colonoscopy.
Yeah. Wow. So that's crazy. They dated for 3 years. They lived together and worked together at the deli that he owned. Hey, it's Patty Gigante's Deli. Come on in, everybody. Hey, let's go. The best Italian combo in town. All right. He always smells like fucking like ham of some kind.
Yeah.
Always smells like capicola or something.
Got a little bit of salted meat on your breath. Always.
There's a salted cured meat salami waft coming from him at all times. Just a salami scent of salami.
Yeah. I like it.
So, he didn't know anything. He said that she was charming and impressive and everything like that. You'd present her to people and she'd be very impressive. And, oh, wow, yeah, your girl's really, she's sharp. She's a smart one and all that kind of shit. Well, he also said that she had a bit of a split personality, the way he put it.
What does he mean?
He said, quote, I like the way he puts, guys who own delis speak very directly and to the point.
Sure do.
He said, she's like a thoroughbred racehorse for being cruel.
What? What does that mean?
She's genetically engineered to be cruel? I don't know, but she is. This is what I mean. He put it in a way where if you're going to be cruel, what's the best racehorse? A thoroughbred racehorse. Yeah. She is that of cruelness. With glistening muscles racing with all the other horses behind her, just crueler than the rest.
If you stop motion camera her, at some point she's off the ground.
It's
being
wild.
Cruel.
So cruel. So cruel. By the way, Gigante also owns a construction business too. Gigante,
of course he
does. Hey, Patty Gigante. He's got his nice construction business, and he's dating a teenager.
I will build you the best goddamn sandwich you ever had.
It's amazing,
and a bridge.
You figure. Well, I opened a deli because I figure, I know how to build a house. If I could make a house that people don't fall through the floors and not, and I fall through all this shit, I figure...
A sandwich ain't shit.
The way I could construct the sandwich, I thought about it, wow, this is something I could really make people happy every day like this, you know what I mean? So she ends up, I guess, breaking up with Pat and returning to New Orleans for a year or two.
Okay.
She ends up going home where she gets her GED at home. So she comes home and goes, that was crazy, spending my entire teen years running around New York City going to clubs and bars and shit. Wow. I just had like a Drew Barrymore childhood. This is fucking weird.
I shouldn't real life already.
That's what I mean. I shouldn't have been doing the things I'm doing. I'm going to go back to here and get a GED. So from New Orleans here with her GED in tow.
Yeah.
Ready to hit the world and take it by storm with her Louisiana GED, which is a lot. She then moves to Alaska in 1994 when she's actually 21.
Oh.
So when she's truly actually 21, she moves to Alaska.
Polar opposite.
Which is a very well, kind of, because she moves to Alaska for a specific reason. Not because it's beautiful, not because it's, picturesque, or she wants to open up a lodge for corporate retreats like in the real estate report. None of that. She heard that you can make real, real good money in Alaska at a particular profession. So she gets a job at the on the outskirts of Anchorage at the Jimmie, Great Alaskan Bush Company.
She's a stripper?
That's right.
Really?
The Great Alaskan Bush Company.
Stop it. I didn't know that was a real place.
No, I thought that was a joke.
Yeah.
I know there's one in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was
I thought it was the only one here.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like a
joke.
Yeah, I don't.
A stupid punny name.
Yeah. And because it's the all nude one, so But what? It's a real place in Alaska.
It's the Great Alaskan Bush Company. Then they franchised it out apparently to other places. I don't know why you'd want. I don't think okay, if I want to go see naked women dance, I'm not like, I bet Alaska's got all the hot chicks. That's never what you think about. I mean, maybe they do. I'm not saying the women in Alaska are. I don't know what I've never been there. I don't know what they look like, but that's not the first thing that pops into your head. Is like, man, I bet they got some hot Alaskan chicks in there. I picture them with a big coat on. I don't even picture them nude. It's impossible to picture them nude.
Well, that's because it's the all nude one. It was at the time the only all nude one in Phoenix. That was the allure, was that you actually got to see a vagina.
Yeah.
You get to throw dollars at a vagina.
Now, at the Great Alaskan Bush Company in Alaska, though, the problem is the girls, every one of their little acts, it takes like 45 minutes because it takes forever to.
It's so much clothes.
So many layers. It's the layers. They're like, oh, no, she's down to her flannel. Okay. Oh, no, she's got a thermal on under that. Oh, yeah, come on, take that thermal off. Yeah, there's a sweatshirt on under there. Okay, there we go.
She's My Cherry Pie isn't long enough for all that.
No, you play a whole Warrant album. You got to do the whole thing. And then if it takes longer than that, it goes right to Motley Crue, Girls, and they go all the way through that one, too. You never know.
Have to run through the catalog of Motley Crue.
It's a lot. Yeah. Smoking in the boys' room.
From Too Hot for Love to Dr. Feelgood. Let's get down.
All of it, man. So that's where she works. Her stage name?
Yeah.
Bobby Joe.
Okay. Very Louisiana.
Exactly. I think she's trying to. That's her.
Down home's folksy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I guess up there they were recruiting women because there's not a lot. Even in this town, it's 2/3 men. Alaska's a lot of guys. There's but then they can't find guys. It's a very weird thing. But the women there, they're not like guys. A lot of the people in this area are fishermen and things like that from somewhere else. So they wanted girls from different places, so guys could think of, that's a girl like from where I'm from type of shit. From what I understand, So she's Bobby Joe, and she is short and blonde and very pretty. She's a really cute girl. She really is. She's a
stunner.
She's
with
pretty
excellent posture, James.
I mean, stick straight posture. She's
straighter than the pole.
Yeah, well, that's why she likes the pole. She's attracted to it for some reason. So magnetism. She caught on fast there, being a stripper. She was into the dancing thing. She said she saw it as a means to an end. She said, I would go to work and I kept my goal in mind. My goal was to make money and leave. So she wants to come here, make a bunch of money, save it up, and get the fuck out of Alaska. That's her.
Not a bad plan.
No, I mean, you're a young person, shake it while you got it. I don't know. Why not? So she works there. Everybody said she wasn't a great dancer, but she was hot as shit. That's what everybody was like. It didn't matter. The guys just walk back and forth. They didn't care. They didn't care if she could dance or not. That wasn't part of it at all. Just hot.
I got news for you. Anybody that's in a strip club does not give a fuck how she dances.
No one's there criticizing the dance moves.
No.
That's the thing. As long as once in a while you show what we're trying to see, we're pretty happy with. That's a good dance move. Oh, then she spread her legs. That's a great dance move.
Yeah, her tits were out when she did it. It was awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, we're really not picky when it comes to that. There's not a lot of people sitting in the back like, I don't know, I could have done better. Someone need. Can I ask you? Is there a manager present? Who runs your choreography department? Because I have
auditioned her.
A degree from Juilliard that I feel like I could use here to help these women dance.
I know Paula Abdul. This is bullshit.
So she's really good at yapping to the guys too. Okay. She's good at talking to them. She's good at her job. She's good at this shit. So she meets a particular man here, and his name is Kent Leppink. 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 Okay? But we don't call him Kent or Leppink. We call him TT.
Okay.
TT.
There's one T in his name.
Well, that's not why. It's not for his name.
Oh.
It's because of his nickname. He's got a nickname, and then his nickname is long, so they shortened it to TT.
Oh.
Okay. He's 35 years old at this time that he meets her here. They call him TT because he's, quote, the Tennessee taxidermist. The Tennessee taxidermist, baby. That's right. That's what they call me. He sounds like an unsuccessful country singer.
I was going to say that.
I'm Waylon Marlin, the Tennessee taxidermist, they call me.
That's an unsuccessful country artist if Vince McMahon was naming country artists.
Yeah, the Tennessee taxidermist. Oh, he comes out. He's got like a raccoon head just sitting on top of his head, and he's got pelts hanging from his body. Oh, yeah, the Tennessee taxidermist. Yeah.
Why is he the Tennessee taxidermist? Is that where he's from and what he does?
He tries to stuff you at the end of it. That's what he does. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got his parents are Betsy and Ken. We'll talk about why he's the Tennessee. Well, he was going to school in Tennessee for taxidermy before he came here. So he told somebody that. He's not a taxidermist. He's certainly not from Tennessee. He's from Michigan. He spent a marginal amount of time in Tennessee learning taxidermy, and the first person he told that, they're like, Tennessee taxidermist, TT over here. Everybody, this is TT. And he was like, huh? I'm Kent? I guess I'm TT. Okay.
I'm Kent from Michigan, guys.
This is how nicknames happen, everybody. So this is he's kind of an impulsive guy and fucks up every once in a while. Old TT here. His parents are Betsy and Ken from Michigan.
Yeah.
They found out that before he came to Alaska and before he went to do taxidermy, he was caught skimming money from the family business in Michigan.
Oh, Kent.
So this is the second week in a row we've had somebody skimming money from a family. This is the only time in the episode it'll come up. It's not a big deal otherwise. Don't worry. It's not a family feud or anything. So he was fired by his family after he embezzled $100,000.
Good Lord.
That's not a little bit. In the 80s?
How do you...
Especially in the 80s? That's a shitload of money in the 80s.
Your family had $100,000 that you could steal from them? That's amazing.
It's in the business. It's a chain of grocery stores.
Right.
He embezzled the money from it.
But that's amazing that he could.
It's amazing for a chain of grocery stores to make $100,000. That seems.
It's just awesome that is a thing that somebody had in their life.
Yeah. Well, the fact that they noticed it means it meant something to them.
Right. It means they didn't have much more than that.
No. But yeah, it's a chain of grocery stores they own. So you'd imagine there's money coming in to steal. You know, at least gross. I don't know about net, but at least gross. There's cash flying in the door. So he didn't know what to do. He got shit canned from there. So he's a big outdoorsman. So he went to Tennessee to a game farm near Nashville to study taxidermy.
Wow.
I don't know how you decide to do that.
B?
That was his he liked to hunt. So he's like, I can do my own taxidermy. I don't know how he expected to. I guess you can make a living doing that if you want to live in animal guts for the rest of your life.
Did his dad maybe take him and find roadkill and they were fucking with?
Is it a Dahmer situation? No. This is what he wants: taxidermy. So he attended a Safari Club International convention in Nevada. Wow. Okay, which is a gathering of big game hunters who they frequently needed their shit mounted. So he went there to see if he could drum up some business. Now, this is crazy, by the way, because how does he have the money to do all this when he was embezzling $100,000, but he has money to, I'm going to meander on down to Nashville to learn how to carve up a fucking raccoon is a weird thing to like pay for. And then I'll go out there, I'll stay in Vegas, I'll try to drum up some business. How are you getting money for this?
That just feels like the family maybe he had the idea and they were like, sure, whatever gets him out of our hair, we'll pay for it.
I guess so. That's possible. Maybe they were trying to help him out or trying to get him a fresh start. Everybody says he's a nice guy. He's just kind of a fuck up sometimes. That's kind of how it works. Well, in Vegas, he meets a guy named Russ Williams, who's a fisherman from Alaska, and they strike up a little friendship here. Sure. And he invites Kent, TT, to come to Alaska and work the summer of '93 as a crewman on his fishing boat. Great idea. Got nothing else going on. You like the outdoors? Come up there for the summer.
And Alaska has tons of hunting.
Forget about it.
Business up there, too.
You know how many things drop dead up there? Forget about it. You can stuff it all. You can stuff everything up there. So that's what he decides. He goes, you know what? What the fuck? It was a seagoing vessel used to ferry fish catches from netting boats into the canneries.
Awesome.
So it was like a transfer boat here.
Yeah.
So his job was the boat's job was to pick up salmon from these vessels and bring them into fresh into the canneries. Yep. So they didn't sit on the boat out there while they fished. And so the fisher didn't have to come in every fucking day and drop their load off. So he says, yeah, this is great. Let's do it. And the parents said, you should do that. Maybe it'll be a fresh start for you. They want him to have something for his life here. And like you said, this also keeps him away from the family coffers here for a while.
Yeah. And this is a fucking adventure.
It is. This is an adventure, and he likes the outdoors, and fuck it. Yeah. And his family's pretty well-to-do. I don't know if he's got a trust fund or anything like that, but they have money. He's from near Grand Rapids, Michigan. He, by the way, Kent's a big guy, TT. He's a 6'5" big son of a bitch.
Okay.
So everybody says real like a big guy, too. Like just not a guy you'd mess with type of guy. A big son of a bitch. Yeah. A big outdoorsman son of a bitch. Yeah. Right. And also prematurely bald like a motherfucker, too.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, TT.
He's all the way back. He's not balding. It's over with. And he's 33, 34 years old when it's all said and done. Yeah, he's balded. It's past tense at this point. So he's known as though kind of polite and mild-mannered, though. Not a aggressive guy or anything like that.
Bald in your 30s will certainly humble you.
That'll humble you a little bit.
You will not be aggressive anymore.
Well, and he wasn't humbled enough to not try to steal $100,000. Maybe he was going to buy hair. We don't know. Maybe he wanted plugs. And he's like, listen, I need a lot of them. I don't know.
The first one. I don't care.
I'll do it. So he did go to college, though. He was a college-educated guy. He thought about going to medical school, but he said, you know what, I like hunting more. So he didn't want to go to medical school because it would cut into all that time. And he was awkward around women, everybody said. Never had a lot of luck with women, which if you're 23 and going bald, that'll kill your confidence. That'll hurt you. But he is 6'5". He has got that going for him, so he could have worked something out.
At least she's not looking down on the bald patch.
That's what I mean. He could have. He should have shaved it early and then went as a giant bald guy. There's a market for that.
That's a cool guy.
Some women want the giant bald guy, maybe. So you get that. You gotta have a look of some kind. You gotta have something.
Tiny bald guy, no good.
No good. So he ends up going up there for 93 for the season and ends up staying up there.
Fuck yeah.
He stays up there and starts hanging out. So by October 94, he's still there.
Yeah.
Good for him. He's still there. And he had a friend of his and took him to the Alaskan Bush Company to celebrate his birthday. Come on out. Let's look at some pussy. Yeah. You know that's what he said, too.
Up there. It's got to be. Yeah.
Dude, up there, they're probably... There's no law. There's no fucking law up there. They're probably having sex with grizzly bears on stage for all we know. It's like Tijuana. Northern
nothing.
Tijuana.
There's a microscope up my asshole.
Yeah.
For $1 you can look.
It's colonoscopy night at the Bush Company. Who wants to see the inside of Bobby Joe's butthole? Let's come on in. Who wants to see 3 feet inside Bobby Joe? Line up.
Have an $8 beer and
have
a look-see at her intestines and colon.
Come on in. It's going to be amazing. Rumor has it there might be a polyp. All right. So he's at the bar celebrating. He sees Michelle, Bobby Joe, but Michelle come down the stairs, and he told his friend here that that's the best-looking woman in this place right there. Look at her. Yeah. That's right. He wrote in an email right after that, from the moment I met Michelle at the Bush. That's what they call it, by the way. The Bush. Oh, God. Like they're crawling out of a big fucking hairy... that's terrible. Okay. At the Bush, I fell in love with her.
Okay.
So Kent was hooked. He said that, quote, when she would do table dances for me, I was watching her eyes. You're doing it wrong, Kent.
You're getting ripped off.
You don't have to pay for that. Eyes are free, motherfucker. You can watch her. You can watch her do anything with her eyes. That's fine. Wow, you are not good at this, TT. I was watching her eyes. Sure, it's hard not to see the naked body in front of you, but I felt more for her than just as a sex object. I knew that we would be married to each other almost from the beginning.
How about that?
Wow, he is hypnotized by a stripper's gaze.
He's already in love with a stripper.
Wow. It took a table dance and looking deep in her eyes, and she's like, man, he's not even looking at my tits yet. This is wild. I got him forever. So
I've had some pretty romantic table dances though that you really some of them sell it, James. They
romantic.
They make you think they're into it.
Did they light a fucking candle first and pour you a glass of wine? What are you talking about romantic?
That purring they do is fucking magical. They make you think they're into it. It's because they're looking for VIP. But
romance. The romance. Yes.
My point is that if you're dumb enough to not see that this is a business, and you think that you can bang a stripper. Granted, they're people; they bang too. But if you think that they get them from the club, you're out of your mind.
They don't want to fuck you.
No.
That's why you have to pay for this.
They want to take your money so that they can go to nice dinner with the guy that they fuck.
Yeah, and buy meth a lot, too.
There's that, too.
There's that,
Coke
too.
or whatever.
That's true. But yeah, this is not, actually, it would be to pay for their meth head boyfriend's dinner, more likely.
Right.
That would be the most likely thing. I have to take him out to dinner because he's not doing real well.
He's at home with the kids.
Yeah, he's James Woods from Casino. You're going to get yours first, okay? You're going to get yours first. Okay, I don't know, all these other people, none of that, so you're going to get yours first, okay? So he is so much about her, all about her right away. He proposes in a month.
Oh, Kent.
She is very talented, I must say.
So good.
Wow. But he, Jesus Christ, he introduces her to his parents and doesn't tell her where they met. Just doesn't tell the parents anything about that. But the mom, Betsy, said she would kind of pull back a bit physically when he'd put his arm around her.
Oh.
It's hard for a mother to be this honest, but it didn't seem like she loved him like he did her.
Oh.
So, which is, obviously not.
That's what they do.
This is not a situation. Well, they're just not a match like that. Like, he's really stretching too far, man. You're going to rip your taint stretching this far. He's doing a full split and he hasn't warmed up. You know what I mean? This is out of your league, homie.
When you, oh God, it's so frustrating. When you get one that's much better than you really want to.
You made it sound like a fish. Boy, when she's flopping around on the line, boy, you're like, oh, this is too much. I put 16 tests on there now. I need at least 30 for her.
No matter which side is better looking or better as what we feel is better of a
whatever society deems is better. Yeah.
Right. Whichever
All of
one,
us.
male or the female, or whichever side of the relationship is, the other person tends to fucking smother because you want to ultra love them so that they don't fucking leave, because when am I going to fuck somebody that looks like you again?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're together. He buys her a big diamond ring, and he wants to, though, he said, and he says it's him, but we don't know, they're not going to have sex till after marriage. They're going to...
What?
They're going to... Yeah, they're really going to keep it tight and not... No, they're going to not have sex till after marriage because...
A guy gave you a 20 and saw your pussy last night.
Listen, this is a wholesome girl, and she's not going to hussy herself up at all, and that's fine.
Right.
And he respects her too much to do this. So he said it's going to be magical once we get married. That's how it's going to be. So... they talk about their lives together. They're talking about having kids and everything. Yeah. Michelle buys a $64,000 house in Wasilla, which is about 55 miles north of Anchorage here. Yeah. Now they move in together. TT moves into this house with her. He goes away on his fishing trips. All the neighbors said men would be coming and going.
What?
Like she had painting work being done or something, work crews in and out constantly. Like she had
revolving door. Men
all the time are over, and then he'd come home and they would be, oh, we're such an idyllic little couple and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals and things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
It's interesting. One of the neighbors is a friend of TT's, a guy named Tom Namsvet, and he said that he didn't think it was his place to say anything to TT about it.
That is your bro. That's your place.
Well, you know what, though? You don't know, because what if...
Be a pal, buddy.
Yeah, well, then what if she denies it then, and then this guy's mad at you now? You talking shit about my fucking fiance, and then he's some 6'5" fisherman who wants to kick the shit out of you. Now you're... You know what? Mind your own fucking business. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Unless it's your best friend.
Yeah.
Who cares? Not my problem. Okay. Sorry. Fuck that. I'm not getting involved in this giant guy and his stripper girlfriend. That's none of my fucking business.
Okay.
You kidding me? Like, honestly, look at it from that point of view. Like, I don't know what the hell they do. Who knows? Maybe they have an arrangement. You don't know. You're going to bring
That's
that
the other
up?
point. You don't know what...
You
don't
calling
know
my
business.
girlfriend a whore? I know who comes over. That was Frank, Bill, Ted. They were scheduled to come bang her. Jesus Christ, I'm out of town. What do you want?
We're waiting until we're married. She has needs.
She has needs that need to be taken care of. Now, they are forced out of the home on Thanksgiving Day 1995 when a giant dry rot problem is discovered. Basically, the home is falling apart before their eyes.
Shit.
So they need huge major repairs, and they're really, it's tough. So they move into the home of a friend of hers who's generously offered them to come live with them for a time while the house is being repaired. It's going to take months to repair, so This is a big ask. And the person that she meets and that they're going to go live with is a guy named John T. Carlin III.
Oh, boy.
He's another guy who she met at the strip club.
Yeah, of course he is.
So, yeah. That's like, they're like, what the fuck is going on here? The other thing is, I guess there was some shit that went missing from the home while they were gone. There was a computer, antique rugs, cabinets. The people just like looted the place. I don't know what the hell happened.
Oh, because of the dry rot thing. So there's things being taken off, I imagine. The cabinets were probably sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody picked them up. Yeah.
He's very upset. They were new cabinets, I guess, that he had bought.
Shit.
And so he was like, fuck, they destroyed the cabinets.
Just got delivered and didn't get fucking installed yet.
Yep. And as over emails, too, she goes to New Orleans to see her family, and they argue over emails. She says she needs $2,500 for a wedding dress. And he says, I don't have $2,500 for a wedding dress. So they argue back and forth, and then he actually apologizes, saying, I'm sorry if I misled you by giving you the impression that I had money, but I don't. I don't have a lot of money. I gave it
all to you.
I bought everything.
Yeah,
I bought you cabinets and a ring and your tits that I put in your shit all the time. Your thong till you took it off, and then it was on the floor. But you know what I mean.
Then it's in your purse. You get it.
Yeah. Now, John T. Carlin III here. Carlin, he had his wife recently died from cancer.
Oh no.
He's kind of a sad guy. He's a pudgy, bald, sad guy. Is what he is. I'll be very honest with you here. So he's got a teenage son as well that he's raising by himself now.
Yeah.
And he recently moved to Alaska to start over because his wife died. It's hard. He was a steel worker, and he had won a $1.2 million judgment in a lead poisoning lawsuit against his former employer.
Awesome. I mean,
he's got lead poisoning, but
yeah,
other than that,
yeah.
He's got $1.2 million, and he's going to Alaska with his son for a fresh start.
Fantastic.
Which seems great. Yeah, that seems fantastic. His son says he was a real quiet, private person who didn't like to tell anybody about his personal information or anything like that. Very private. So private, he allows the dancer and her fiance to move into his house. It's very private. Super private. Very keeps to himself. Just wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful. You know what I mean? So he wanders in, finds himself in the Alaskan Bush Company in the summer of 95.
Okay.
So this is, 6-8 months into the relationship.
TT's been there 2 years.
TT's been here a while. He's been in Alaska for 2 years, yeah. So he ends up falling for Michelle right away when he meets her and didn't know she was engaged here.
Oh.
And he said, quote, I was in love with her, so I said, what the heck? He said he was in too deep to care by the time he found out that she had a fiance and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
Which is incredible to me. To go, oh, well, I mean, I just like her so much. What are you, nuts? You fucking idiot? No. No, dipshit.
I mean, she's so pretty.
Yeah. She's so pretty.
So what? She's got a fiance.
She's so pretty. It's like just so weird that no other guy would try to marry her by now. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Jesus Christ. So he's doing that. He gives her an $11,000 diamond ring.
What?
A big ring, a $3,200 fur coat he gives her. Yeah, he's showering her with expensive gifts, very expensive gifts here. Takes her on a multi-week-long trip to Amsterdam. They go on a European vacation. He's got $1.2 million.
Not him. How? How do you explain that to
To
where
your
you're
fiance?
supposed to be?
Well,
What does she say?
she's got a way about her. Don't know what it is.
As soon as they start
But
arguing,
I
she
can't
just
go
presses
to Europe
play.
without her. Yeah.
She just presses play on "She's My
She
Cherry Pie."
That's it. they immediately dicks get hard out of sense memory. Like Pavlov's dog. They're just like, I heard cherry pie. There's going to be a butt grinding on my dick soon. So weeks-long trip in August of 95. They go to Amsterdam. It's a European vacation. Other cities as well. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This is great. We'll talk about it. She not only, there's so much that we don't know yet. Okay, so he said that he was planning on taking the trip. He bought it for his late wife. They like a year before was the trip. They all planned it out a year before, but he didn't want to waste the trip. So he's like, you come with me. This is pre 9/11 when you could just go, anybody's plane ticket. Nobody cared. During the trip, they had sex at least once.
Yeah.
Which is not a lot for a European vacation.
Wow. Yeah. It was
That's
at the base of the Eiffel Tower, though. It was amazing.
I'm sure it was wonderful at the base. It was right at the tip somehow.
On top of Big Ben.
That's it right there. So at least once, and Michelle, like we said, is he knows obviously Carlin that she's engaged and shit because they live in his fucking house. So it's hard to not know her situation.
He's ate your food.
Well, wait till you hear. He cooks his dinner, for Christ's sake. So she also learned to shoot guns at his gun club, particularly the .44 Magnum that he had that she liked a lot.
That's
she
a
liked
lot of
shooting
gun.
that. That's a lot of gun for a little lady.
Jesus
so
Christ,
she liked it.
Huckleberry.
No shit. So now let's talk about their living arrangements for a minute because this obviously is strange.
Yeah, there's a child in the house, too.
Yeah, the people around, too, the neighbors are like, they were like, oh, they must be a bunch of friends, like, sharing the living expenses together, because there's, TT and John Carlin. I want to call him George Carlin every time.
Yeah.
John Carlin and Michelle, and then Carlin's teenage son lives there, so they're like, oh, is it a couple living? Who knows, right? They would also, everybody in the neighborhood would hang out. They'd play cards at night. They said all the adults drank beer together and, hung out like that. They're normal stuff. Like they were like a weird family almost.
Yeah.
Like they would lend each other money and stuff. Like it was very, very strange.
This is all happy so that nobody finds out that I'm trying to bang her.
Well, not sort of, but it still can be happy, Jimmy. It still can be happy. We can all get along.
Yeah, I guess.
She's so amazing, it really doesn't matter. That's how these guys are looking at it. These are, wow. She, by the way, everyone said Michelle is the queen of the castle. There is no undisputed. They would watch TT and John compete for her affections and try to show off in front of her. This is like a bunch of teenagers. These are men in their late 30s. This is ridiculous.
She loves it.
Oh, she fucking loves it. They buy her gifts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
She would continue to dance for a while. She continues to dance. They said she brought home, she had a Crown Royal bag that she carried her cash in, the velvet sack. Yeah. So she'd bring home sometimes multiple Crown Royal bags full of cash.
Multiple.
She made a fortune, and she'd pour it all out onto the dining room table and be like, ha, look at that. TT was like the housekeeper. He ran errands. He ironed everybody's clothes.
Oh, no.
This is crazy. Well, good. You know what? Take my fiance to Europe and fuck her. I'll have all your laundry ironed and folded by the time you get back. Don't worry about it. What's happening?
Oh, my God.
This is it gets crazier. Now, John, Carlin, he said that, the son, John Carlin's son, who, by the way, is John Carlin the fourth, obviously. Yeah. He said that everybody depended on TT. Like, he was like the house mom. Like, everyone depended on him. Where's my pants?
6'5" bald guy.
Yeah, have you seen my pants? And he's like, oh, Jesus, I didn't get to them yet. And he starts ironing.
He's
They
like Hulk Hogan when he was in that movie where he was the commando. And he had to take
Suburban
care of the
Commando.
house. Yeah.
Suburban Commando. That's what he
Take
was.
care of the house.
No, you're mixing up Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando.
Mr. Nanny. What is that?
So that's where he was a nanny and he had to take care of the kids. But Suburban Commando was a different one. He didn't have to take
Wasn't
care
he
of the
taking
house.
care of
Nah,
things
he
in
was
the
there to
house,
like
too?
kill people and blow shit up.
Okay.
So there's two movies you're mixing up, but they're
Suburban.
both great movies, by the way. Top notch.
I'm going to watch them both tonight.
Top notch films. You really should. I recommend them and No Holds Barred. Go for the Hulk Hogan trifecta because you will not be disappointed. Everyone should it's amazing. It's amazing. So they said everybody depended on TT, and TT would follow Michelle around all the time. Just always following her around. Hey, what are we doing? Trying to, Yeah. Now, she also was known as generous and kind. Everybody, she's banging these guys, but people, they like her. There's a reason why they're okay with this. They said she's really good with children and animals, really sweet with animals. She didn't like TT's taxidermy past. She didn't care for that. She thought that was pretty bad. They said that in Carlin's house, she had several dogs, a couple of birds, and a cat. She had her whole
regular zoo around here.
Yeah, she loved it. She loved it. What was her goal, Jimmie?
Oh, God.
I don't know how this keeps happening. I don't know how it keeps coming up. It's the strangest fucking thing in the world.
It's a bird, isn't it?
She was excited about her plans to save up money. She wants to go to the University of Alaska in Anchorage, then go down to Costa Rica to work in an exotic bird sanctuary. What the fuck is going on with the birds?
If you know somebody with an exotic bird, be scared of that person.
Or think, why am I going to murder this person? Because you might kill them. Who knows?
Stay away from people with birds.
Bad things
shit
are
follows
happening.
them. Yes.
It's fucking crazy, though.
That is unbelievable.
More exotic birds? What? My head almost exploded when I read that. I'm like, how is this happening? Last week, we had to actually not do a case that involved more exotic birds. I said, we can't put this out now. We've had all these birds. People are going to think this is like a bird-themed show. We got to wait till the next time we do that state to do the birds again because this is too many birds. But it was more fucking African gray parrots. It's crazy.
It's the pit bull of murder.
I don't get it. The murder birds, man.
It's like old people with curly-haired white dogs. Murderers love to have birds around. What is that?
If I see an exotic bird, I'm just going to think there's a dead body around here somewhere. Has to be.
Or it's close by. Yeah.
Yeah. So Michelle also, while this is all going on, is keeping up another relationship or two. She also has another fiance.
Michelle.
She's got another fiance named Scott Hilke, or Hilke, Hilke. Hilke, we're going to call him. Scott came to Alaska in August of 94 to train Anchorage workmen in the operation and repair of large-scale power plants.
Oh.
Yeah, Scott's got some dough, too. He was an expert in the field. He worked for Conval, manufacturers of valves for power plants, refineries, and petrochemical plants. That sounds very exciting. The George M. Sullivan Power Facility on the east side of Anchorage was about to undergo a huge renovation. And he was Hilke was in the middle of getting a divorce from his wife in California. And he, while he's in town doing this, he's just in town for months, recently divorced guy. He would go to the Bush Company every night.
Going with his half of the
He's
divorce
eating dinner.
settlement.
He's eating dinner there. You know he is.
He's having pasta. Yeah.
He is cutting up a prime rib while he's looking at fucking girls spreading their ass cheeks in front of him. You know he is.
He's dipping that prime rib in au jus.
Oh, yeah.
And staring at all au jus.
Can I get more bread over here? What is it, man?
What the fuck?
So he met Michelle and started hanging out with her and talking to her and all that kind of thing. Soon after his arrival, though, the Sullivan maintenance, the plant work was postponed. So he told Michelle, I'll be back in a few weeks. And she gave him his phone number and said, well, call me when you get back. Yeah. So he fell in love with her, and before long, I don't know, a month or two, he asked her to marry him too. So
yeah, stripper gave you her phone number. That's a big deal.
she said, "Well, so that's what the exchange is. Phone number for a diamond ring.
Here's my phone number. Yes, I will marry you.
Yes, I'll marry you." So that's what they did. And meanwhile, at home, this same shit's going on. This is what Scott says about TT because he saw them together.
Right.
Okay. He said that Kent could never see that Michelle was using him. He was like, "What's wrong with this guy?" He said, quote, "I think he followed her around like a puppy dog. I think he was certainly willing to do anything for her that would ingratiate. I couldn't read my own writing. That would ingratiate a strength in his relationship to her, no question." So, yeah. She said also she's always emailing everybody, Michelle. She's big on email. So she's just, this is 96, 95, 96. So she's like, "Hey, look at me. I got my AOL on." She's got all those free hour discs that she got in the mail.
That's frightening, though. You're going to mix an email up, Michelle. You better be careful.
She has it all going on here. Hilke and her got matching pink dinosaur tattoos on their ankles.
On your ankle, bro?
I don't know why. Yeah, they did. She would use his frequent flyer miles to visit him in California on the weekend. She would bring her pets with her a lot, too, especially her cockatoo. Especially her bird, Jimmy. Of course, her bird.
Fucking bird on a plane?
Bird's name is Sybil. Like the multi-personality. What
the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's exactly.
Is that real?
Yeah, I swear to God. Cockatoo named Sybil.
Oh, my God. Yep. Run, Hilke.
I wonder what the rest of the animals are named.
Carrie.
Manson, Carrie. Jesus Christ. Arius.
Good God.
This is my bird, Arius. This is my dog, Warnos. So they meet. Anyway, they do all of this. He spends $3,000 on an engagement ring, gives it to her on Thanksgiving of that year. They get engaged. So one Thanksgiving, her house gets dry rotted. The next Thanksgiving, she's getting a ring. So they make plans to marry a year later. Okay. Now Scott Hilke, he says that John Carlin, he says that Hilke himself, he knew about the other guys.
They're all aware of each other. We're all in a race. This is like Cannonball Run for marriage.
He described them, though. Hilke told everybody that's more of a dancer-client relationship she has with those guys. Where you're engaged and you live with people, like a dancer-client relationship. Where they introduce you to their parents and you live with them, like that. And you make plans for marriage.
The dancer-client relationship is, "I like you, give me $20 for this song." That's it. That's the relationship.
Yeah. It's not, is my laundry done yet? Because we got to eat dinner and get to that thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Can you get the kids from daycare? Is not a conversation in the dancer-client relationship.
So Christmas 95, John Carlin, he steps up to the plate. He proposes as well.
Oh, boy. John.
She accepts that one, too.
Of course she does.
She's now engaged to 3 men at the same time, 2 of which live in the same house with her.
Michelle.
Does she have them all stacked up on the same finger? Or is she like, can you get that one maybe for like an index or maybe a thumb ring maybe or something? Because my ring fingers are full right now. Chock full. Wow.
That's a pretty kick-ass looking finger, though, with 3 rocks on it.
3 rocks of varying sizes there. So over an 18-month period here, so she's got 3 fiancés, which is insane, all at the same time, living in the same house. A person later on, a reporter later on who'll cover this, said, quote, "They became entangled in this bizarre, it wasn't even a love triangle. It was like a love hexagon." It's a love hexagon, everybody. That's what this is, and that's got to be the name of this episode here. A bizarre love hexagon. Holy shit. So Scott Hilke says this about Michelle, quote, "I think she outsmarts most people that she gets involved with. I think she reads the situation, figures out how to recreate her personality in such a way that she will profit from that." He said she got lots of jewelry, she got lots of furs.
Like Like Sybil?
like a psychopath does.
Right.
I'm not saying she's a psychopath,
No.
but that's the
Predators do.
description.
Yeah.
A description of the psychopath. Like one of them is that they will change personalities to whoever they're around. They're very good at kind of putting that
situations,
camouflaging themselves in normalcy for whatever normalcy that situation is, and figuring out the thing that they can use to get what they want. So she said that he said that her car payments were fucking paid for.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
House repairs, diamonds, furs. Guys are just buying her shit. Guys that not even the 3 that she's engaged to. Just guys at the club. She'll talk to him for a while. Next thing you know, I'll pay your car or bill. Don't worry about it.
Oh, boy.
It's crazy. Super Bowl weekend, 1996 here. So this would be Cowboys Steelers. In Phoenix, actually. In Tempe.
It was. At
So,
ASU.
yeah, piece of crap. I'm going to pay $4,000 to sit on a metal bench. Sounds great.
For 6 hours. And
For 6
blister
hours
my ass.
of horse shit. Yeah. So during this time, Scott Hilke's at a convention in Phoenix during this time, and he is anxious to get back to Michelle. She's in Anchorage. She, at this point, is taking classes at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. She's quit the Bush Company now.
Okay.
So she hit her goal of money, apparently.
Great.
And he says that there's some emails between them while he's gone, and he says, he wishes that she could have come with him, but he knows that she's studying, and that's got to come first. Your school comes first, and all that. He also said in this that she's telling him that TT and John Carlin have been snooping more on her.
Uh-oh.
Out of jealousy. I guess TT started reading her emails. Then he started reading her credit card bills and phone records for her to see who she's talking to. I guess Carlin would spy on her emails as well. So everybody sees her emails. He did it so often that she got a new email address to switch it because she was like, they know the passwords. Everybody's breaking into this one.
Yeah.
Her old email address or her handle here was AKMEWELL. So Alaska Me Well, I guess. Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to figure it out because I'm terrible
What's
with
her last
license
name?
plates. Her last name was Hughes.
Oh, what is the well part?
There you go. She's doing well.
Mewell?
Mewell.
Michelle? Does somebody call her Mewell?
Or maybe it's just like she's doing well. Whatever it is, she changes it to latex and lace is what she changes it to. LATEXNLACE. Well, if there was another one, she would have been latex and lace 69, but she had that handle all to herself.
She locked it down early.
Sorry, everybody, that one's taken. So she told Hilke about the new name in a message, and she said, John has my password for AK Mewell. Send email to new name Latex and Lace. I don't want to change password right now. He almost saw last letter. John is coming up now. I have to go. Love you always. We'll write later. That's her email here. So she's like frantically emailing.
And then delete.
And then, I don't know that one. Yeah. So on March 10th of that year, TT sends an email to Scott Hilke complaining about Hilke and Michelle trying to hide their relationship from him.
Okay, so he's aware.
He's aware. He knows everything. Yeah. He said, you and Michelle hurt me very much, he said. He was like, we're planning a wedding and this is silly and you're trying to, get with her. This is messed up. They said, this is Hilke. He said, from the moment I first suspected that there might be something, this is him talking to Hilke. From the moment I suspected that there might be something going on between you and Michelle, I should have said something. By remaining silent, I'm as guilty as you. By being silent, bad feelings toward you developed. I keep too much inside and all the pressure's built up until the only thing that's left is resentment. He said, quote, I would have to say that I put up a pretty good false front, but on the inside, I was a bundle of mixed up emotions, desire for love, hatred, bitterness, confusion. Michelle and I have talked a lot in the past few days, and I am drawing a line and putting all of this behind me. I'm not putting this in the back of my brain so that I can pull it up whenever I want to. I'm not ever going to bring it up again. I think a clean slate is the best way to continue. I want to be your friend. Why?
What?
Why? Why do you need to be this person's friend? For what reason?
The line is, I want you out of our life.
I want you to go away and never see you again. I wish you didn't exist. Not I want to be your friend. I don't want any bad feelings about the past to interfere with our friendship. What? From here on out, it's a new beginning. It makes me feel good to call you my friend. Let's get together soon, or at least keep in touch by email, TT. So, That is his email. Now, wow, that's interesting. He also says at one point, TT, in an email to John Carlin, that he said when Carlin came in, that was the first dark cloud that came into this relationship. Now, he said that, this is wild, TT at first said that Michelle told him that Scott Hilke was gay and not a threat to their relationship.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not. He's gay, she said. What are you talking about?
That old trope.
Yeah, he's gay, hangs out at the female strip club, super gay.
Where'd you meet him? At my job. Where women are naked?
Where he pays money to see fucking pussy in his face every night. Gay. That's the gayest thing ever. He
comes in
constantly.
all the time to confirm that he's gay. That's all he wants. Is just to, he just needs to.
And then when his dick gets hard, he goes, well, maybe not gay enough today. I'll be back tomorrow to try to be gayer. I don't know what else. Yeah. So Hilke, though, had quit his job and was moving to Alaska to be with her at this time.
Oh, my God.
So TT from the beginning was like, and I didn't know if I believed the whole no sexual interest in her thing. He said at one point, quote, call me stupid.
Wow.
Well, but for quite a while, I didn't see any problem. It should have hit me as strange that Michelle never woke up, but that she called Scott to see what was up. She never woke up, but that she called Scott. But she called Scott. That doesn't make any sense. At night, no, I don't either. At night, she had to call to see what he had done that day. Okay, she had to call him.
Okay.
Every time she would fly out of state, she would somehow meet up with Scott and spend some time together. Hawaii, Florida, California, New Orleans, Seattle. Yes.
Those are called vacations.
Those are called fucking fuck hookups. What are you talking about? Jesus
New Orleans
Christ.
No, she didn't.
Wow. Now, TT then breaks into a third-person situation here.
Oh, boy.
Quote, 99% of the population knows what's up by now, but not TT. All he knows is what Michelle has told him, and he loves her more than anything. Why would he think anything was going on? Then he says, quote, well, TT finally catches on when he finds some faxes that are left out. You didn't have to read between the lines to know what they were saying. Scott asked Michelle to marry him on November 24th, 1994, 10 days after I had.
Oh, my God.
There's no way to describe my feelings, John. This is in an email to Carlin. I guess I was mad at myself as I was at Scott and Michelle. So what did I do? I still loved Michelle. I couldn't leave her. She meant too much to me. I guess I did only the sensible thing. I slowed down the flow of money. I couldn't see giving my money to Michelle when I knew it was really going to Scott so that he could fuck around and not work and vacation away a summer with the woman that I love. And it was really fucking up my head to know the whole situation and yet not have the balls to confront the problem.
How are none of them realizing that it's not them, it's her? She's not stopping this. You got to walk, man. You got to get out.
In their minds, if they confront her, she's going to go, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
Whereas if they just decide to be the nicest to her, and then maybe she'll eventually pick them. That's the thought here.
What is this, fucking The Bachelorette?
Exactly. That's how they're I was going to say, they're playing it like it's a reality show, and they're all waiting for a rose at the end. It's exactly it. It's The Bachelorette.
It's not happening, guys.
It's the reference. So, yeah, that's ridiculous. That's what they're doing, though. All of them. And they're just like, well, I mean, fingers crossed, I'm going to be the one.
We're so dumb.
So, you think these three are done?
Men. We're
Yeah,
dumb.
that's what I mean. No, I just mean these three.
Yeah,
well, guess what? There's one more dude that we don't know about yet.
Stop it.
There's another guy named Brent Reddell, Reddell. He's another guy who wanted to bang Michelle and was successful at that. He lived in Barrow, which is way up north in Alaska, way up there. This is crazy. He said Michelle was his girlfriend, and he thought she was going to move up to Barrow to live with him.
Oh, boy.
That was his expectation. He gave Michelle the keys to his red pickup, invited her to, you can use this whenever you want. She needed money. She would call him in Barrow. He would send her money.
Oh, boy.
He said she was just, always getting money from him. Now, another dancer that works with her named Tina Brady, she said, a lot of regulars buy you gifts. He said that, but they said, yeah, but did Michelle intend on marrying these guys? And she said, I don't think that she had any intent on marrying anyone.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So by the end of 1995, Scott Hilke kind of gives up on that she's going to marry him.
Okay.
He kind of gets the hint of she's not going to marry me, but I'll bang her if I can here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a way more healthy way to go about this for him.
So
mentally.
much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would see each other on and off. He ends up leaving Alaska and everything like that. So now John Carlin said this was the golden time for their relationship. Once Scott left, he said, quote, our relationship started going into full bloom when she broke up with Scott.
Yeah.
Now it's only one other boyfriend besides me. Now it's a new day. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's actually two, but I don't know about that other one, so that's fine. The one in Barrow, none of the guys know about him. He's a secret.
He's just
They know about the three down here, but not the one in Barrow, okay?
Oh, my God.
Now, back to TT, okay? Okay, April 1996, Brian Brunden, that is his lawyer, TT's lawyer. This lawyer, Brunden, said that TT came to see him several times in April 1996. On April 18th, TT revised his will to make Michelle the primary beneficiary of his estate. Up until that time, it was his parents in his will.
Okay.
So the next day, April 19th, he returns, TT does, to the lawyer's office, asking about the possibility of suing North Star Hospital, which is a mental care hospital in Anchorage. TT said he visited the hospital because he heard that Michelle was getting counseling there and he wanted to check on her. So the hospital staff told him that they couldn't discuss another person's treatment with him, and then the hospital staff then alerted Michelle that TT was making inquiries about her. So this made TT mad, and he thought the hospital staff violated some sort of duty of confidentiality by revealing that he'd come to the hospital asking questions about her. Not the way that works at all.
They violated my HIPAA law.
My HIPAA law. I'm not a patient. They told the patient, yeah, you got that completely backwards, how that law
They
works.
told the patient that I was trying to get them to violate HIPAA for that I was trying to violate HIPAA.
Therefore, they're violating the fuck out of HIPAA. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right, lawyer?
He's a dummy.
The lawyer was like, hold on, my head hurts. Wait, back up for a second. Hold on. Sorry, I was reading something for a minute, and my head is just not in the right. You didn't just say what I thought you said. So during the same visit, also TT tells his lawyer that Michelle was having an affair with Carlin, who lived in the same household with them. That is fucking crazy. So he refers to Michelle as his fiance the whole time during this visit. And the lawyer said it didn't seem like a great relationship to me. She was living with a guy she was fucking behind his back or in front of his face, which is even more whatever. So the lawyer said, I don't know if you should be just, legal advice here. Maybe you shouldn't marry a girl who's fucking someone else you're living with. Just a thought. I mean,
Sometimes
not to be
it takes
judgy
an
or
outsider
anything.
like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need somebody that just hears the information and goes, "What?"
Well, the problem is everybody he knows is engaged to her also. So who's going to tell him that? That's the problem. Everyone he knows is engaged to her. He's got 3 friends. They're all engaged to her.
Maybe you should talk to the teenage son.
Maybe he'll have some sort of view.
Voice of reason.
He'll come in here. I don't know if he's the voice of reason or not, but we'll talk about him. So a week later, April 26th, TT returns to the lawyer's office, and now he's angry. He tells the lawyer that Michelle left and he didn't know where she was, and that his expensive computer was missing, and some rugs, and a bronze statue, and it's worth at least $4,000, and she took all this shit, okay? So he told his lawyer that he just removed her as the beneficiary that he put her on as a week before this. Now it's off of his life insurance she was the beneficiary of his life insurance policy. He just took her off of that, and now he wants to remove her as the beneficiary of his will that he made 8 days earlier. Okay. Right. So the lawyer says, okay, tear up the April 18th will in my presence here. That will reactivate the earlier will that made your parents the beneficiaries of your estate.
Done.
So there you go. Okay. Now, Betsy Limpick, the mom, TT's mom, she receives a phone call from TT toward the end of April. He told her that he was calling from Girdwood, wherever the fuck that is, and that he was on his way to Hope, Alaska, through Girdwood here. And he said, Mom, this is what he said, quote, Mom, you know that often I can't find Michelle. She's missing again, and I want to find her. I need to find her, and I have learned that she's in Hope. Oh. So he's driving from Alaska to Hope 2 hours to try to find her. Okay. From Anchorage, where they were staying. They were staying in Anchorage at Carlin's house in South Anchorage. So she tries to talk him out of it, Betsy. She said, quote, Kent, you've been in, have you ever been in Hope? It's just a little village. There's nothing else there. Where would she be in Hope? Like, at the general store, just hanging out by the counter? Yeah. Where the hell is she going to be?
She's using the only shitter in town. I'll find her.
She's in the pay shitter. Don't worry about it. She might be, because TT said that Michelle was, quote, in a cabin. And he said, and his mother was like, listen, don't go. And he said, quote, well, I have reason to believe that's where she is and that's where I'm going. So That's it. I'm a 35-year-old man going there. Sorry. Later in the same conversation, he mentioned that he received his first wedding gift, which was a $1 million life insurance policy on his life that his grandfather bought for him.
Oh, that was nice.
As a wedding, yeah. And the mother said she was shocked by that news. The mother said, quote, what are you saying? And he repeated it, and she said, Kent, that's sick. That's absolutely sick. I've never heard of such a thing in all my life. And now you're going to Hope, but she can't be in Hope. There's nothing there but a little fishing village. And she said she was afraid for him, and she said, don't go alone. Just get out of there. She's like, now you have a life insurance policy, and you're going in the middle of nowhere, and I don't like any of this shit. So that was the weekend of the 27th, 28th, after he took her off of his will. Okay. Mm-hmm. She spoke to her son again, spoke to TT again after he got back from Hope into Anchorage. She asked him did you find Michelle? And he told her that he didn't, obviously. But then he said, quote, John Carlin knows where she goes, and he won't tell me. This is bad. So April 30th here, TT calls his big brother, or his brother, not big brother, his brother Craig in Michigan, and they talked for about an hour and a half. And TT said that, he couldn't find Michelle. He told his brother he hadn't seen her in a week and he didn't know where she was, and told his brother that, she took my laptop, she took my statue, all that kind of shit. So the brother told him that there were other fish in the ocean, man. That's what he said.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're a fisherman. You know these things.
You get it.
You get it. Put your pole in and troll a little. So he said that, according to his brother, he said that TT was very adamant about not wanting any other women. He told his brother, no, I really love Michelle. I really love this lady. Damn it. His brother said that he was goofy about her and was like a love-struck puppy.
Oh.
Now, letters he sends to his parents. Okay. He sends letters to his parents. First of all, he was telling his parents to get ready for a wedding. On a trip to Anchorage in the spring of 1996 that his parents made, his dad said that he was expecting to see his future daughter-in-law again, see her again. But by the time he got there, Michelle was missing, gone. TT was very embarrassed. So the parents said they went back to Michigan,
without seeing her.
Without seeing her. She was gone. Who knows
She's
where
in
she is?
Miami this weekend. I can't help it.
She might be in Barrow. She could be anywhere. Yeah, who the hell knows where she is? Jesus, she could be in Amsterdam. So Kent, the day they leave, Kent mails his parents a letter to catch up with them in Michigan here. When they got the letter, they called him, but they weren't able to reach him. Actually, his mom says, quote, actually, it was a letter inside a letter. The first letter asked us not to read the second letter unless something happened to him. Okay. It said this, quote, please put the enclosed envelope in your safe deposit box. Do not open it. I talked to you about insurance policies. This is mine. And insurance policies is in quotes.
Yeah.
This is mine. If I didn't think that things could get a little rough up here, I wouldn't have sent this to you. It'll be safer there. It's not funny to talk about getting killed, but in today's world, you have to expect anything. And if you think anything fishy has happened to me, then you can open up the other envelope that I've sent.
What?
That's what he said.
Fuck, man.
Here's a letter that just explains not to open up that other letter unless something happens to me.
And it's not funny to talk about getting killed, but today we should probably talk about it. Really?
But anything can happen these days. These days.
That shouldn't be a thing.
So May 2nd, 1996, okay, there's electric company guys trying to fix power lines.
Yeah.
There's some electrical, a break in the system somewhere.
Yeah.
They're trying to find where the problem is.
An outage, we're fixing it.
There's an outage. So they don't find any damage. They go to a 17-mile road that goes to Hope, which is a small, obviously, town that we've talked about here. When they reach mile 11, just before 10:30 a.m., they pull the truck into a turn off. They go up a rocky incline. This is some, it's out there. Yeah. There's 2 electric meters at an old communications site, and that'll tell them if there was trouble in the grid, broken lines, or damaged equipment. Is it the grid? Is it the lines? Is it equipment? Right. What are we talking about here?
Is meters on or not? Right.
Yeah, so this guy's job is to keep the power on for the entire northern part of the county. So that's what he's trying to do here. So he looks at all the overhead lines and clears some shit beneath them, some brush and everything like that. Everything looked fine, but he saw on the power line trail a bright patch of red down there. He's like, what the fuck is this now? Is there something caught on the line or something? So he said probably like maybe gear or repair crew dropped off their truck because it's so rocky, something like that, something of red. So he's like, God damn it. So he said that if he doesn't pick it up, he's in the middle of nowhere. No one's picking it up. So I'm the only one out here. So he goes down, heads down the path, and, he's all the way down the path. He could see that it was a red jacket. So he's like, it looks like a red jacket or some kind of clothes or something. And he sees it's on a man lying on the ground. So he's like, God damn it, Jesus Christ. Well, he thought it was like a hikers come up here sometimes, and it's a nice day. He thought maybe they're napping in the sun. But he said hello, and nobody answered. Again, he's yelling hello, hello, hello. No movement, no answer. So he takes a few steps closer, and he sees, this guy's on his back, and his mouth's wide open. And he has a giant hole in his face.
Oh, boy.
And it's all smashed in, and there's blood all over him. Yeah. And he is extremely dead, super dead. He'd been shot, as we'll find out, close range 3 times.
Oh, my.
Back, abdomen, and cheek.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity. And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep shoppers coming back with personalized experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge. In fact, it's proven, based on a report from EY, businesses on Shopify POS see real results. like 22% better total cost of ownership and benefits, equivalent to an 8.9% uplift in sales on average relative to the market set surveyed. Want more? Check out at shopify.com/Wondery. All lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity. Shopify.com/Wondery.
Okay, so it's got a chest wound, huge hole in the face, a line of dried blood coming from the left ear. They find a wallet and checkbook protruding from his right pants pocket.
Okay.
So they pull it out, and the cops get there. They pull it out. They check his driver's license, and they find out it is Kent Lepink. That's who's out there.
Yeah.
It's Kent, and the license says he lives in South Anchorage at John Carlin's house. He's got checks. On his checks, by the way, are both of their names. It's Kent and Michelle.
Really? Put her on the account.
Put her on the account. With a different address, though, with the checkbook, which is her house in Wasilla. So they said that, by the way, pure chance that they were in the woods to find him. This guy hasn't been here for 2-3 months. So
It's always the electric worker or somebody hiking or hunting.
absolutely. Something like that shit. So it's wild, man. So he, like we said, he'd been shot 3 times. The sergeant that gets there, it's 1:45 p.m. He does a whole inspection of the scene. He's got a huge background in firearms and knows bullet casings. He's very good with that sort of shit. Yeah. He finds 3 empty .44 caliber casings on the ground.
Boy, oh boy.
That is a lot. Now, number one, they're scattered, which is in a way where he's like, it's a .44, but it's coming from a semi-automatic, because why else would there be 3 shells on the ground? Right. Who's going to shoot someone 3 times and empty the shells out of the revolver? Right. That doesn't make sense. He said, so this is 99% sure this is a Desert Eagle that we're looking for, because there's not a lot of other semi-automatics that fire .44 rounds out. So that's what they're looking for. They're like, this person was shot with a .44 Desert Eagle, which is a cannon of a gun. That's a lot. So, that's how they figure out. They say also that the scattered shells show them that the killer didn't stop to pick up the shells, leaving evidence behind. Right. They said that they were either inexperienced with firearms, didn't give a shit, or were in a huge hurry.
Right.
And the fact that they're in the middle of nowhere, they probably weren't in a huge hurry. So they're probably didn't know any better is probably what they're thinking. So about 4:30, they load him up into a bag and they take him out. And they said he was in full rigor by then, so he had been there for a while, well before the power company guys found them. And they're trying to figure it out. If they can't figure out a time of death, they said anywhere between 6 and 48 hours before we found him.
Jesus, that's a window.
Which is a huge window for an investigation, because you got to put a timeline together. Right. That's tough. So when they get to the medical examiner's lab in Anchorage, his remains were x-rayed while he was still in the bag, and they were looking for shit like that. The bag's unzipped. They searched for bullets, metal fragments, anything like that that they could find. They know that there is a red shirt and a large blood stain on the back. Also that the second bullet hit him in the stomach, and that there was very little blood on the front of his T-shirt or the outer clothing. The blood stains indicate that he'd been shot first in the back. After the impact, he spun around and fell backward, never rolling onto his stomach, and then he was shot twice more, stomach and then face. So they said virtually all the bleeding occurred while he was lying on his back.
Probably dead before he hit the fucking ground.
Possibly. Yep, but they needed to shoot him even more. So that's crazy. So they check his car as well. They find his car, and in his car, they find one of Scott Hilke's business cards and a reservation card in Hilke's name at a hotel in Mississippi, which is strange. Now, there's also an TT tracks where Michelle's going is the thing. That's why. Right. We know this because one time Michelle and Hilke were in a hotel in Louisiana, or some bed and breakfast, some fuck spot they hooked up. While they were there, they were still asleep. Kent burst into the room, not to threaten them, to serve breakfast in bed.
What?
Yeah, TT came into the room. They thought he was in Alaska. He flew to Louisiana, got them breakfast, busted into the room, and was like, breakfast in bed for you guys.
I brought crepes.
And they said it was really not like a, friendly, like, hey, everybody. It was definitely like a, I found you, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They thought it was really weird. But rather than tell Kent to go away and you're being a dick, they figured, well, while he's here, Michelle had driven her Volvo all the way here. So she asked Kent, hey, while you're here, will you drive my car back to Alaska? I'm going to ride back with Scott.
What the fuck?
And TT said, all right.
You got it.
You got it. So that's why the card was possibly in his pocket, because he was tracking them to another place. That is fucking crazy.
Does anybody work, for Christ's sake?
None of these people work. They're just throwing money around.
I have time to fly to Louisiana and drive from there to Alaska.
Oh, my God. That is crazy. He stopped to visit his family in Michigan on the drive back, and Michelle and Hilke took a different route across the country to the Alaska Highway and to Anchorage. They didn't tell Kent which way they went and used assumed names at overnight stops to keep him from tracking. But he's looking at their credit card information, so that's how he knows. It doesn't matter what name it is. Now, TT's friends, so they find out that he got shot, people that he knows, and they're like, Jesus Christ. One of his friends said, quote, only a loony would shoot this guy. This is Buzz Williams, his friend. Yeah, Buzz. He said that you would have to shoot him between the eyes because he was just as likely to take the gun away from you. He was as strong as a horse and as big as a door. I've never heard someone be described as big as a door. Have you? Never. Wow.
Jesus,
that is
big as a door.
Strong as a horse and big as a door. He was about 6'5" and could reach up and touch our 9-foot ceilings. But he had a mild manner and not a mean streak in his body.
I'm calling everybody that from now on.
He's as big as a door. Just pick a random thing. Wow, look at him. He's big like a dumpster. Wow, just pick anything.
You're as big as a truck bed.
That's so stupid. Now the parents find out that Kent's dead. They find out TT's dead. So they're going to open the second letter.
Yeah.
They have this second letter. They said they didn't want to open the second letter, but he told them to do it, so they're going to honor his wishes.
So why
not? Riddle me this, bitch. So Betsy said it's the most painful thing that ever happened to us. The first thing we did was open the second letter. It was really terrible. And the instructions, obviously, we told you what they were. And the letter says this inside. Mm-hmm. Since you're reading this, you assume that I'm dead. Which sounds like he's going to say, I'm not really dead. I'm hiding. You know what I mean? Like, you assume that I'm dead. But you assume wrong. In actuality, I have fooled everyone.
Follow this path of clues and you will find me.
I am indeed magic. Wow. It was my time, and there's nothing that can change that.
Oh, my God.
Wow, this is morbid. There are a few things I'd like you to do for me, though. I hate to be vindictive in my death, but paybacks are hell. I like where this is going.
I need you to exact vengeance for me.
Yeah. TT might be more Italian than I gave him credit for. Use the information enclosed to take Michelle down. And then down is all capital letters. Use this information to take her down. Make sure she is prosecuted.
Okay.
There's a colon, and then we go into like bullet points. Fraud. She took me for a lot of money on the impression we were getting married. This may be hard to prove without me present, but give it a shot. It's a Class B felony in Alaska. $15,000 can be proved because you sent it to us. So that's where he's getting money. His parents sent him $15,000. Insurance fraud. Have the IRS audit her. Turn her in. It said that. He said that Michelle fraudulently used John's medical insurance and was probably not reporting her dancing income to the IRS. He listed Michelle's social security number and her mother's address to aid the investigation. He also accuses John Carlin, Michelle, and Scott Hilke of his murder in this. He says, make sure they get burned. Make sure Michelle goes to jail for a long time, but visit her there. Tell her how much I really do love her, and tell her you love her too, and please help her.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about?
That is unreal.
Make sure they get burned. Make sure Michelle goes to jail for a long time, but visit her there. I thought he was going to say to mock her and like No,
Gotcha, bitch.
watch her looks fade and tell her now nobody wants her, and do that. No, tell her how much I really did, and then in parentheses, do love her. Tell her you love her and help her. Yeah, right.
This is sick, dude. He's so far in. He really can't let go.
No, imagine
in death.
Good God, imagine telling that to my mother. She would have this woman. She'd be trying to cut her throat in 5 seconds. Never mind help her.
Yeah.
I'll help her by helping her fucking bleed faster, is what my mother would say. So he said, use that information. He said, Michelle, John, or Scott were probably the people or persons that probably killed me. Do me another favor. Make sure Michelle goes to jail for a long time. So I love that, by the way. Wow. So the investigation sparks up here. And during this, they're asked to check out the house in Wasilla to see if they can come up with anybody because it's listed on his checks. The police officer was told to look for Michelle Hughes and John Carlin, the owner of the house in Anchorage, that it has his driver's license to. Sure. So they find Michelle with Carlin at her house in Wasilla. Also, Carlin's 17-year-old son is there, the fourth. So the house was being remodeled, and they were working in a storage shed in the rear, gathering items to take back to Anchorage. They said they were looking for their own stuff, which they believed to be hidden there by TT. They said that TT lived with them and that he wasn't sleeping, lived with them when he wasn't sleeping on his boat or fishing in the Prince William Sound. They said sometimes he stole things and they were trying to get them back, though. So the cop takes Michelle into the house and talks to her while the other cop talks to Carlin and his son outside. Right. Michelle said, "Why are you asking questions about TT?" She said, "I just came back from a vacation at Lake Tahoe with my boyfriend, Scott Hilke. These two are just jet-setting." Wow. They said that she became increasingly anxious as they asked more questions, and she said, "Is Kent in any trouble? Has he done something? Why are you guys here?" So the cop told her that Kent had been found dead under suspicious circumstances. Yeah, 3 giant holes in him. That's suspicious, all right?
Huge, yeah.
Those don't just pop up out of nowhere. The woman, they said that she seemed shocked and became very upset. They said she cried, she calmed down. They asked her, did he have any enemies? She said, none that I know of. They said, well, tell me what you do know, anything you can. And she said she couldn't think of anything. She said he might have made somebody mad because he, quote, he's very sneaky and he lies a lot and he keeps people's social securities for what I don't know.
What?
Social security numbers, she was saying. For what I don't know. So, I mean, right away, by the way, when they're asking you about a dead person and you start saying negative things about them, that immediately...
all the reasons somebody might want to kill him.
Yes. Right. You're giving a lot away with that, definitely. So this guy said that he's done a lot of death notifications, but there was definitely something odd. They said she cried, but it was in a unconvincingly weird, non-sincere way. Mm-hmm. They said when the interview was completed, he told the 3 of them to leave Kent's belongings where they are, and detectives would want to look them over and don't disturb them. He also said other investigators would want to talk to them further when they get back to Anchorage. So that night, Scott Hilke called from California, making sure Michelle got home okay from Tahoe. They went their separate ways there. Carlin the fourth answered, John's kid, and he went to call, before he called Michelle to the phone, he told Hilke that Kent was dead. He's like, hey, TT's dead, that TT guy. Yeah, he got shot and killed. So he says, the cops, by the way, no sooner than that, the cops get a hold of him, and they'd like to chat with him, too. Right. And he said he was surprised that they even wanted to chat with me and that I could be like a suspect. He said I wasn't even in Alaska at the time. What are you talking about? He'd been in Lake Tahoe until the day before because they were spending a few days together. He said he told the cops he didn't shoot Kent. I didn't fucking do it. Right. He fails a polygraph when asked about it, though. That's not good. Now, the detective, though, this detective later on that comes in later will say that while polygraphs are sometimes helpful, they're sometimes completely wrong. So maybe that's what it is. We don't know. They thought this one might be wrong. By the way, they never checked airline or phone records to make sure that Hilke was that Hilke wasn't in town. They never checked. They just took his word for it. What? And then he failed a polygraph, and they went, I'm sure he was still in Tahoe.
He said he was
I'm sure
gone.
it's fine. Didn't even check. Once he fails the polygraph, that's when you start checking hotels and credit cards and phone records and shit.
He was in
Emails.
Tahoe.
No.
Who wouldn't be in Tahoe? That sounds amazing.
Come on. Tahoe's great. Wow. So Michelle had flown back the night before Kent was even found.
Okay.
So she'd been in town for that long. So police again talk to Michelle. They get her in Anchorage and they talk to her, and she started to sob, of course, when they told her more about the murder. She told them that Kent owned a gun because they say that he owned a gun, and she said, yes, he did. She also said that there was a $1 million life insurance policy on his life, she said. So she said she told them that she paid for Kent's policy herself and named herself as the main beneficiary. Okay, Kent had taken Michelle off the policy completely, but they don't think that she knows that at this point in time.
Burn.
They don't think that she knows that. Hilke at this point said, quote, he tells later on, he said, her intent was to be out of the state when anything bad was going to happen, I think. I believe now I was used as an alibi. Wow, he finally realizes he's being used for something, you dumb fuck. $100,000 later and all these fucking trips and diamonds and furs. Huh, weird.
I thought she loved me and my dick. That's all I thought.
That's it. I don't get it.
Because we're dumb.
Shit. They when they search Kent's car, TT's car, thoroughly, they find a note in his car that hinted at something going on with George Carlin. In the note, it said that John Carlin, George Carlin, damn it. It said that Carlin purchased a cabin in Hope. Okay, this is the note he has. He had purchased a cabin in Hope and was inviting Michelle to use it in this note. So this was a note from Carlin to Michelle that Kent had in his possession. Right. But there is no cabin in Hope. John didn't buy a cabin in Hope. No one has a cabin in Hope. This is all a made-up thing going back and forth. It's a typed note, and they think that the cabin is a hoax to get John to go to, or to get TT to come to Hope, so they can kill him in the woods. That's what the cops' theory is here. So Carlin writes that he fixed the roof and cleaned the fireplace in this imaginary cabin.
Oh,
and
no.
Said, quote, you guys enjoy your weekend up there, making it sound like Michelle was going with somebody up there. Then she says back, great, please don't let anyone know where we're at. Love you, thanks again. So, yeah, their theory is this is the note that got him going back and forth to Hope looking for a cabin when the mother's like, where could they be? He didn't even know. He was just driving around the woods looking for a cabin.
Oh, my God.
That Michelle might be in.
They played the he's looking at our emails angle and just wrote fake emails.
Wrote fake shit. This was an actual, I guess it was a typed out letter. So I think it was a printed out email strain. So then he went back and he's found in Hope a few days later. So he went back and forth to Hope multiple times.
Oh, my God.
Because he talked to his parents when he had gotten back from Hope and went to Anchorage, and then next thing you know, he's back out in Hope again. Wow. So they talked to Carlin. They want to have a chit-chat with him since he's involved in this.
Yeah.
And they said, you ever own a 44 Desert Eagle by any chance?
Yeah.
And they said, quote, John, what would you say if I told you that I've been told that you also had a 44 gun in your house? And he said, I would say that's a bunch of crap, is what John says, very wittily. So the cop says, you say you deny having a 44 caliber handgun in your home? And he says, absolutely. And they said, never owned one. And he said, nope. And they said, at any time? Nope. He said, not here in Anchorage. Then he said, I used to own a 44 back when I was a range master in New Jersey. I think it was a Smith & Wesson I had, but not since I've been here. So also May 6th, a jewelry store called Carlin's house to say a chain and bracelet Michelle ordered on April 28th had arrived. Michelle went to the store. While there, tried to use a $250 credit that Kent had coming for a pair of earrings he had returned earlier.
Using his credit.
Using his credit, yeah. So when Michelle came in to pick up the chain and bracelet, the jeweler said he heard about Kent's murder and said, she said, quote, yes, that was a very creepy thing, and then tried to use his credit.
He's not going to need that.
Yeah, and they said, well, we can't do that because it might be tied up in an estate. It doesn't belong. We don't know who it belongs to. So whoever comes in with the paperwork, they can use the credit. It's $250. So in early June, now a month later, Carlin puts up $18,000 for the down payment on a $72,000 RV.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a camper thing, basically. And Michelle was supposed to pay off the balance of it. You do the payments. He also, Carlin, designated her as John the Fourth's official guardian if anything happens to him.
Oh, my.
And one of his friends said that he set up a $200,000 trust fund for her to use in his care and provide support for him in case something happens to him.
That's a good way to ensure that you will never die. And trust your children with somebody else. They'll never murder you.
Yeah, right? No shit.
I don't want you to die. I don't have to be responsible for your fucking kid.
But she will be responsible for distributing a $200,000 trust, which is who cares about the kid at that point for her, is what he's thinking. So they don't really have any proof or anything. No witnesses, no murder weapon, no direct evidence, no anything. It just lingers. They don't have anything to go on. So eventually officers are transferred out, others are transferred in, and the case just kind of...
Oh, my God!
Kind of floats away from them. Floats away from him.
It's so obvious.
This is terrible police work up there. It's almost like they're like, well, I don't know, shit. I don't know.
They didn't say that they did it, so what do we do now?
Wow. They said that, the insurance policy, by the police at the time had the insurance policy in Kent's letters home, but they said there was nothing they could go on, even though he said, hey, check in all this. Hilke was already living in California. Carlin and Michelle were free to do whatever they want, and they separately both left Alaska a few months after the murder. Michelle leaves Alaska, heads first to California, then to Olympia, Washington. Huh. Okay, now, what about Brent Reddle, the guy from Barrow there? Yeah. They talked to him, the detectives, because they found out about him, and they were like, let's hear from you. Fuck it, this is crazy. Just for the story, they had to hear what he had to say. So this was, he said that he expected Michelle to quit the Bush company, buy him a house trailer in Arizona, and move it north of Anchorage where they were going to live together. That's what he thought the plan was.
We're going to live in a trailer from Arizona.
Yep. He was still supporting her after she quit working and started college. And in the months before the shooting and all that, he gave her his bank debit card and PIN number so she had constant access to his bank account. She occasionally visited him in Barrow, but they only had sex once.
Just enough to
This is her thing.
Yeah.
Hook him to where, I want more of that. And then never again. This is what she did with everybody. So This is her deal. She'd go to Barrow frequently, and that was kind of part of, she kind of used Barrow to launder herself from Kent. Kent didn't, so if Kent thought she was going one place, she'd stop in Barrow to kind of clear everything, and then, like if dogs are chasing you, it was like running through a river, you know what I mean? Like that's what she would do.
It's the airport terminal parking station for the mob when they were running from helicopters.
Yeah, exactly, totally. Yeah, like Joe Pesci. A lot of casino references coming up here. So she did all that. I guess when she was gone, Kent would check the airport parking lot frequently to look for her car there.
Gross.
So 8 years go by.
Oh, my God.
No action.
What shit is happening?
Police are like, I don't know, shit, okay? She's now Michelle Linehan. Mm-hmm. She has settled in Washington State. She said, quote, I went to school full time. I studied biology and psychology and got a master's in public administration.
Holy shit.
She meets in New Orleans in 1998 and marries a young doctor named Colin Linehan.
Oh, Colin.
A day after he graduates from medical school. And then a year later, they have a daughter.
Oh. She is moving on.
Oh, moving on. He says, I have known this woman, and this is Colin. I have known this woman, and I catch myself like, wow, she's amazing. And our daughter just adores her, too. They have a life.
Liar.
Amazing liar. They have a life in Olympia, that's very run-of-the-mill. In 2004, he had served in the Army in Iraq as a medic there, and she ends up, she's at home with the kid and has a nice network of friends and everything like that. She becomes an intern at the Washington State Executive Ethics Board. Ethics.
My Christ.
The irony is fucking ripe as a 3-day-old corpse at this point.
It is chewy. It's so thick.
Holy shit. She volunteered at her daughter's Catholic school and worked 12-hour shifts at a crisis center counseling people impacted by suicide or suicide threats and rape victims.
She is repenting.
Wow. She went to St. Michael's Catholic Church and asked to become involved in its social justice programs, telling church officials she wanted to learn how she could help make a better world.
Maybe
Stop
don't
killing
take
people.
God's children out of it.
Oh, my God. She also got into kayaking, biking, hiking, rock climbing. She loved to garden. She loved to have backyard parties for her coworkers, friends, and neighbors.
She loves life, James.
She once complained to the local police about a contractor stealing from her home, then told the prosecutor on the case that she didn't want him prosecuted because she forgave the thief.
Oh.
And the prosecutor said she's very compassionate, very understanding, and very forgiving. Yeah, I mean, glass houses, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, game recognized game, bitch. Like, so
Also,
everything's
it's a weak-ass crime. I'm better at crime than he is.
Yeah, this is fuck, dude. I'll rob that guy blind. You kidding me? I could just show him my pussy twice. He'll be buying me furs, man. I know what's up. So after 8 years, everything seems fine and dandy. Like we said, everything is okay. And then somebody went to her house in Olympia, to her residence here. She is, this is the Hughes residence, by the way. Okay. She's Hughes now. That's how this is. So she's, she was Hughes. Now she's Linehan. Yeah, duh. Okay. That's right. Colin Linehan. Yes. Now she's Linehan. So they go to her house and Colin is there and she's not. So the police tell him that you have an hour to find your wife and bring her to the station. You need to bring her in. And they told him we could do this. This is the quote. We could do this in a small way or a big way. In other words, this could be real casual. You could take her down, or we could have 10 cops in your driveway and your neighbors are going to wonder what the fuck's going on. And that means a lot to you being a community pillar doctor type guy.
We're going to break your fucking door down.
Yep. So Michelle, Colin, and a lawyer showed up at a police station 45 minutes later.
45 minutes.
Yeah. You're a good client if that lawyer's there within an hour. Not bad.
Yeah.
And at this point, she's like, I'm a church-going PTA mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have a young child who's about to enter elementary school. And, they'd bought a $400,000 office space to set up a medical day spa that was going to offer Botox, laser hair removal, facials, and massages as well.
Wow.
So, her husband is sitting there not knowing shit about any of this stuff. So she said, quote, they asked for clarification of certain statements I had made in the past. I just wanted to help them as much as I could. I was shocked by it. I was really shaken up.
Not bad.
So this is the state trooper cold case unit that reopened this fucking thing. Because obviously the Hope police don't know shit. They're ass from a fucking hole in the ground. So Michelle said, quote, I think it's normal. It's a normal profession of life that you have a job and you go to school. I think she means progression. I think they meant progression of life, not profession of life. I think this
procession?
Is either one. It doesn't matter. Not profession.
Not profession.
No, this is definitely a misquote. You have a job, you go to school, you get married, you might have a family, and I think that's where my life went, she said. I don't know. Her husband here said he knew about her past as a stripper. He said her goal was to save up money for college, and it was something that I could definitely respect. She had absolutely no intention of doing that for the rest of her life. She said about all her boyfriends, quote, I didn't really ask probing questions. I mean, I understood she had relationships with all three of them at one point in time. Good Lord. Not my problem. So, yeah, she said all the other guys wanted to marry her, but the only guy she really agreed to marry, not without a wink, wink, was Scott Hilke. That one was the one she was really going to marry. She says that She says she never asked the men in her life for more than they already wanted to give. She's like, they just wanted to give me things. She said, quote, so you tell me how a 22 or 21-year-old girl can make grown men do these things with their pussy. That's how you can do it. That I can explain it to you that simple. With your tits and pussy. That is the language that a 35-year-old guy speaks.
We're bilingual, James. We speak tits and pussy.
Yeah, it's a trilingual because there's two tits. So Michelle said Carlin did ask her to get married, but she says no, and she said she never thought of TT as a fiance, even though she was talking to him in the emails about wedding dresses and everything like that.
He's the first one that gave you a ring, for God's sake.
Yeah, they even say they find a message to TT that says, my darling Kent, if you still want to marry me, we should just go and do it. We should get married within the next month. We should just do it and start our life. She goes on to talk about eloping and we should just get out of here and do this. But she says, no, not at all. She said, especially Kent, she said TT was the worst. He'd become obsessively collecting her information, social security number, credit cards, phone bills, reading her emails, tracking her every move.
Like a boyfriend.
It got
and
to be
fiance.
a lot. Fiance who's fucking 3 other guys, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess you wouldn't do that unless you had some serious suspicions here.
Right.
So they asked if she was afraid of him, and she said, I think I had become afraid of him toward that time. Okay. Yeah, sure. And then they said, did he have any reason to be afraid of you? And she said, no, not at all. She said she only pretended to be engaged to TT to get him off the hook with his parents because he was hiding a super big secret from them. Quote, I think TT was gay.
Oh, my God. She's going back to that.
Everybody that's her way of claiming she's not in a relationship with someone. They're gay. Otherwise, they'd obviously want this right here. But, I think TT was gay. I think he wanted to have a life that was thought to be normal. He could never tell his family he was gay. Now, TT's mother said they wouldn't have cared for a second if he was gay, but he wasn't gay because he's super into chicks. So,
and specifically this one, he really wants to marry her.
Yeah, and also Michelle says, I have a hard time thinking that John did anything like that as well. Carlin, God forbid. She said she had nothing to do with the crime at all, period. Colin, the husband, he chimes in and says, quote, you can call her a lying bitch, you can call her a psychopath, you can call her a sociopath, but bottom line is, that's not who she is.
Yeah.
You can call her all that. She will answer to all of them. She has a T-shirt corresponding. She has those little nameplate necklace things with each different ones for different day of the week. So one says lying bitch, one says sociopath, psychopath.
You can call her all these things. She actually comes when I call her them.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, even after she moved to Olympia, married, and had a daughter, she still continued the relationship with Scott Hilke as well. God. Yep, he visited Linehan in Olympia while her husband was serving in Iraq.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah. That's terrible shit right there.
God.
That's fucked up.
That's dastard, right?
This fucking guy is fucking trying to sew up somebody with their legs blown off from an IED in 2004, and she's like getting plowed by her old strip club buddy. This is terrible.
He's trying to get retribution for 2 buildings being knocked down.
This is crazy.
And she's spreading
retribution from the wrong people.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that.
He's a medic, too. He's trying to fix people up. He has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Right.
That's just a way to get medical school paid for, I think is what it was. It's like,
probably.
Seriously. So, the detective is Linda Branchflower. She's the one responsible for all this. She's the one who really put this investigation together and was like,
Linda.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
She said about Michelle, quote, she can change herself to fit any situation and play any roles. She's deadly. She said she joined the cold case unit and immediately was like, what is this shit here? This murder, this looks terrible. Then she said, we went where the evidence led us and there wasn't anything in our investigation to indicate anybody else could have done it. So he failed the polygraph, Scott Hilke. They certainly want to keep talking to him. And she said, Branchflower said, we did try to investigate if there was anything that indicated Hilke knew that the murder was going to take place, and there was nothing at all. So outside of just the polygraph failure, there's no other evidence to corroborate what they think there. Now, they find some old computers seized in the original investigation that she found again. Many of the emails had been deleted, but they were able to restore them.
Right.
This was before programs that could, wipe things better than they do then. So the troopers tried to find the laptop shortly after TT died, but Michelle told them she sent it to her sister for repair there. Now, the records show, though, that Michelle actually sent it after the investigators inquired about it. Oh. She told them, I sent it to my sister, but the postage date was after they had asked about it.
I'm going to send it to my sister right after this.
Now I'm going to send it the fuck away. So they seized the laptop in Louisiana. It was examined in the investigation and re-examined in 2004 with new technology programs that get shit. They were able to extract emails they believe show that Linehan, at the time now, Michelle, was manipulating TT and setting him up for murder. Branchflower said, the detective, they were able to pull up emails between Kent Michelle, Michelle and Carlin, Michelle and Hilke that describe different aspects of the relationship. Scores of emails, some silly, some meaningless, but very interesting to investigators. They said, here's one between Michelle and TT. You should not be concerned about John. He's more of a brother or even a father to me, she says.
God.
But 2 minutes later, in an email to John, she wrote, you are the most important thing in my life. I need you more than you will ever know.
Daddy,
brother. So then this email from Michelle to Carlin was before the murder. And this says, do you know that you can buy a citizenship in the Seychelles, I guess? Seychelles is the word, for around 10 mil? No matter what crimes you've committed, they will not extradite. It's a place on the coast of Africa that doesn't have an extradition process, and you can buy citizenship. So you can murder people and go there, and as long as you stay there forever, no one can get you.
As long as you have $10 million.
Yeah, exactly. So, they talked about how all this type of shit. So 2005, they're like, who owned a gun like that? He says he didn't know one. Now, they get a very unlikely source here. Carlin IV steps up. He said that his father bought the gun after seeing a classified ad in the newspaper. He did have a fucking Desert Eagle. He even dug up the old ad. They dug up the seller from the ad from a newspaper archive. And they found the seller who said, yeah, they sold Carlin this gun. He said, Carlin Jr. here, the Fort said that he saw the gun days after the murder, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. He said, quote, I came into the house. Michelle was standing in the doorway of my bathroom. My father was there as well. The gun was in the sink, and it was soaking in sort of a chemical. At the time, he said he didn't know if it was a Desert Eagle to this day, but it was a big, giant gun. Yeah. He said that he thinks... Carlin's son, though, he says he doesn't think his father was involved, but he thinks maybe Michelle was. He's not sure. He said that, in his opinion, a party yet to be discovered probably did it. Now, Michelle says she's being very cooperative. She said, I was cooperative after the murder. I'm cooperative now. She said, I told them about Kent's life insurance policy and the note that she and Carlin wrote about the fictitious Hope and Cabin. Cabin and Hope. I tried to cover my ground. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, investigators dismissed the initial cooperation as her trying to cover her bases. And, they said, this is Branchflower, the detective. When they were leaving, I asked him to keep informed. I asked him to keep informed of what was happening. And Linda Branchflower said that I would be informed that I was going to be indicted, maybe. That's what Michelle says. So fall 2006, they indict Michelle and Carlin for the murder.
Oh, boy.
The two of them. Yep, they charge them both. So they, Carlin, who was in Elmer in Salem County, Oregon, working for a road construction company, had to fly back to Alaska after the learning of the warrant for his arrest here.
He moved to the Pacific Northwest, too.
Yeah, he's over there, too. Michelle posted bail and was free to go back to Washington, but Carlin he's in jail. They keep him without bail, and they let her go back to Washington. So it's interesting. Michelle's sister, Melissa, the one who she stole the driver's license to leave early on, she says that Michelle asked her immediately after the murder to erase all the information on a laptop computer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Soak this in bleach, could you?
She knew about the murder and wouldn't do it.
Good
She's
for
like, I'm
her.
not fucking being involved in this.
Yeah.
She will tell the cops that she visited her sister in Utah, or her sister visited her in Utah a month after the murder. And they said that it was her, Carlin, and Carlin's son were driving the motor home from Alaska to Louisiana after a decision to move. About the computer, they talked about everything, and she said that her sister showed no sorrow for the death of her friend, and her sister said, quote, she said it was too bad someone didn't torture him first.
Oh, what is this woman's problem?
That's what she told him. She said, she told me that he got what he deserved. People didn't like him, and he hunted and stuffed animals. So he should have been tortured first. It's everyone in Alaska, so what do you want? So now Michelle, when confronted with this, she said, I was only referring to his job as a taxidermist, and maybe people would have been mad at him for that.
But he wasn't doing that.
No, exactly. He just went to check it out. Also, the sister talked about she was definitely planning an exotic bird sanctuary in Costa Rica as well. So that's a thing that she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Wow. This is fucking interesting. So the two sisters didn't speak for years after the computer incident when she refused to wipe it. Yeah. So Michelle holds a grudge. Michelle's lawyer now says, quote, Kent Lempink was an odd guy. I mean, a very odd guy. And frankly, I think the period of April 1996, I don't think he was well mentally.
It's just a man that's in love. That's all it is.
You know, when you're not well mentally, bullet holes explode into your body. It's super weird. Like, you're not feeling good. Sometimes your face will just explode and like a big hole in your chest. It's super weird.
You better mind your back.
Yeah. Wow. It's
a dude that's in love, man. Come on.
That is.
We are idiots normally without love.
Oh my God. So her lawyer goes on to say, I mean, is he going to say, hey, I've been lying to you guys extensively for a year and a half about the true nature of this relationship? Or is it easier for him to say, Michelle's a bad person and she's involved with kind of bad people? I think that's pretty convenient for him, meaning the note to his parents. Yeah. If you look at the content of these letters themselves, I mean, there's nothing in there to suggest he's aware of a plan to kill him. So it's just a coincidence that 5 days later he's dead. Yes, I think it's a coincidence. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they also dismissed the emails as well, like the bullshit emails of, we should go here for $10 million and there's no extradition. They said, quote, this is amazing. If you were contemplating a murder, would you have put something like that would be so incriminatory? I mean, that would be nuts. It's almost like they're not good at murder. It's almost like people don't commit perfect murders all the time.
If you're going to commit murder, you're going to do everything perfect, is what he's saying.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. That is wild. So, this is Wayne Frick is her attorney. He says she denies all responsibility in the case. It was a tragedy for him to die, but she shouldn't have to pay for someone else's conduct. Neighbors around her where she lives with her husband are shocked. Yeah. Shocked. Here's a quote. She's a great gal. She's one of the sweetest people I know. I don't think I've ever been so shocked in my whole life. Yeah. And then one of them said, yeah, she's great. She is beautiful, though. I can see how she could be a dancer. Here's another one. Debbie Saunders, a neighbor. She said, quote,
yeah.
Yes. No, I know. That's ridiculous, too.
She murders people? No shit.
Yeah.
I can believe she's a dancer.
Yeah, she is hot. She's a hot ass. She said, quote, she's got a family, she's successful in life, so that tells me that she's innocent.
What?
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine then.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, our show, no one successful or with a family's ever killed anybody, right? She's a good, caring mother. She's been a good neighbor. She speaks when she walks by. She says hello when she walks by. Keeps her yard nice. That's not a murderer. Murderers have overgrown lawns, and they don't make eye contact with you when they pass.
I've seen the Burbs.
Oh, man. What happened to our system where it's innocent until proven guilty? Okay. What happened to that? God damn it.
But they've got proof, you dummy.
Her boss at her old job said she had called me to find out about what she could do to make a better world. She said there's no way that she did anything like this. Yeah, she is very compassionate, understanding, and very forgiving. That's the prosecuting attorney. But he says he has no opinion on innocence or guilt in the case because he hasn't looked. This is a different one, different prosecutor. So the Carlin trial happens. His is first. John's up first. And the prosecutor said Kent's death is what Michelle wants. And John, and John was willing to make that happen. They said when Michelle was out of town, he took Kent to Hope, and that's when the Desert Eagle comes out and ready to go, and that's when Kent initially gets it in the back, turns around, falls down, gets it in the stomach and the face. Their theory is that Carlin said, I'll take you to her. Fine, I know where she is, because TT thought he knew where she was. I'll take you to her. Oh, it's up this road, and then they shot him. That's the theory. So the one of Carlin's attorneys said that obviously Michelle's a manipulator. There's all these guys. He said, quote, she's pretty extraordinary in terms of what she can get away with, inserting herself into wills and getting money. She just kept them all on the line, so to speak. It was quite the juggling act. Talking about they got to talk shit about her because they're being tried separately. Right. So they said it's so weird. You don't, in Alaska law, you don't have to prove who did what. They say we don't know whether Carlin shot him or not, or drove him or planned it or whatever, but it's all murder.
We
it's
don't
all
have
the same
to
plot.
Prove who did what.
Nope.
We just prove that he's dead, and we say they did it. They're responsible.
Yep. The prosecutor, Pat Gullifson, tells jurors this was an execution. He says he's intentionally vague, he said later, as to whether Carlin pulled the trigger or just pulled the strings with Michelle firing the shots, because under Alaska law, he can be convicted for murder either way. It doesn't matter. By the way, the prosecutor said it's a story that's going to involve passion, greed, manipulation, and deception. That sounds good. That's a good trial there.
Yeah.
So Michelle here, they just try to point the finger at Michelle. They're talking about maybe motives. And the prosecutor said John Carlin was in love with Michelle. He spent a great deal of money on her. He had twin motives of love and money. That's all he needed, really, probably, for a plan here. Now, they talk about the note to lure TT to Hope, and Carlin says, I wrote the note. I know what I wrote. I know what I wrote in the note and for what it was. And it wasn't to get TT out of the house. It wasn't to get TT down to Hope. It was just to discourage TT, he said. Okay. So now the son gets on the stand and describes seeing the pistol in the sink after he says, I never had a gun like that. He says exactly what I told you. He said, I felt like I was betraying my father. I felt like I was betraying myself, he said later on, testifying. He said that he went to visit his father in jail a few days after he testified. He said he's doing good. He just kind of gave him a nod. It was strange. We're hoping he walks out the door and onto a plane by the end of the month. I don't know about that.
He's going to do 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's all. The defense says that the emails are ambiguous, and that's enough there. TT said, I value my friendships more than I value most things. Thanks for being a friend. So they were like, they were friends. What are you talking about? They were Clay didn't kill him. Deliberation goes on for 4 days of jury deliberation.
Is that right?
4 days before they come back with a verdict. And that verdict is guilty of first-degree murder.
Ooh,
guilty.
That was a negotiation, though.
Yeah, they had to work that out. Mm-hmm. Sentencing, you, sir, may fuck off 99 years, which is the maximum.
Whoa.
No parole till 2041.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
And this is in what, 2005?
This is in 2006. So
Jesus.
That's 35 years, no parole.
Yeah.
So Michelle on trial also for first-degree murder. They have some rulings beforehand. Number one, that there's a letter where Scott says that she has like a split personality. He says in a letter to his parents. They want that not in the fucking court. Her team doesn't want her saying she has a split personality. Like, you're seeing her all nice and kind here, but then as you turn your back, she'll turn into a monster. They don't want that kind of shit. They also wonder. The prosecution says we should be able to call her an exotic dancer, and the defense says you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to be able to bring that up. And the prosecution's like, we have to, because that's where she met all these fucking people. Right. So how the hell would we talk about how they even got in a relationship? That's a big part of it. The prosecutor promised the trial judge the state would not attempt to use or attempt to attribute to Michelle any kind of label or any kind of character simply because she was an exotic dancer. We'll say she danced, but we ain't going to call her a hooah or nothing. You know what I mean? So the defense said that's going to be prejudicial, and they said, well, tough shit. That's the way it's going to be. So in the opening here, she said that I didn't feel like I had to put on a show for them, is what she'll say later on about during the trial. My job was to let the state present their evidence. I know I didn't mastermind this slaying, is what she said, which is a really weird thing to say. Yeah. But the prosecution said if it wasn't for her, Kent would be alive. All she needed was someone to do the dirty work, someone to pull the trigger. Right. Yeah. So the defense attorneys say that Michelle's past will get in the way of a jury seeing the way she is today, the real Michelle, the well-educated wife of a doctor, a home and business owner, no longer a stripper that was so good at getting men to do her shit for her. And the prosecutor said, I don't give a fuck what she's doing now. That doesn't matter. I don't care if she's Mother Teresa. She fucking killed a guy. What are you talking about?
Fact is, when this man died, that was what she had just stopped doing.
That's it. The prosecutor said underlying the whole defense is that she's a changed woman. That doesn't mean that we forget about a murder that she was involved in and instrumental in committing 11 years ago.
Right.
An old friend of hers named Lori Aspiotis, a fellow dancer, she pops up and says, yeah, I have a diary about everything I used to do and all the movies I would watch, and her favorite movie from this time was a movie from 1994 called The Last Seduction, starring Linda Fiorentino, where Fiorentino plays a femme fatale who persuades her lover to kill her husband for money. So the story is about a woman who's married to a doctor.
What?
Talked him into doing an illegal drug deal, selling pharmaceutical cocaine, and got $700,000. And while he was in the shower, she stole the money, took off, went to a small town where a young man lived that she meets at a bar, and she ends up getting him to talks him into murdering her husband for the insurance money. Blah 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 blah. So she said, this friend said that was Michelle's favorite movie.
Yeah.
And said that the protagonist, the Linda Fiorentino character, was her heroine, and she wanted to be just like her.
Good Lord.
So that's what the friend says here, which is fucking amazing. That's pretty wild.
She got the idea from a bad B movie.
A bad movie. It didn't look very good, I got to say. The prosecution wants the jury to watch the movie.
Movie day.
It's movie day, but they said, you can't watch the fucking movie. We described the plot. It was talked about thoroughly. That's enough. Anything in the movie is just going to make you think that it's way worse. So the trial judge said, yes, there are some similarities between the theme of the movie and the theme of manipulation, but there's too many differences between the facts to say this is an analogous thing here. We got to, come on. You can put it out there, but you can't make it like that. Like we're all going to watch the fucking thing now. So Carlin's son, again, testifies in her case, talks about his father and Michelle washing a gun. The defense points out before the grand jury, though, that his testimony for the grand jury, when that's unsealed, Carlin's son twice told police his father was alone when washing the gun back then. Now Michelle's in there as well. He said, I can remember smelling bleach or similar chemical. I remember seeing Miss Hughes standing in the doorway and my father in the bathroom with a firearm in the sink in the clear liquid. That's what he testifies this time. So they said the look on his face was communicating to you what? And he said, I don't ask questions.
Don't
know.
There's a gun in the room. I'm not asking a goddamn thing.
I don't know shit. Why would you soak a gun in liquid? This feels weird. Now, Michelle said she felt bad. She said she felt bad that young John Carlin had to testify. She said, I just felt heartbroken for him. I think he's afraid of hurting me. He saw what happened to his dad, and I think that put him in a really bad position. So, the testimony goes on for a month. They talk about the policies and all that kind of shit. Michelle had made a call to the insurance company days before TT died, and they said she had attempted to cancel the policy.
Okay. So
now the prosecution said, no, we think the call was to check on the insurance to make sure it still existed, not to cancel it. So, because they had a record of her calling there. So they talked about her lack of sincerity at the notification. They get Colin on the stand, the husband. At this poor bastard, Jesus Christ. This is crazy. Colin says, it's horrible, nerve-shattering, anxiety-provoking nightmare. You know their son is dead. You can't take that back. I have nothing but sympathy for them, meaning the family. It kills me that in their hearts, they think Michelle had anything to do with that, because I know from the bottom of my heart and soul that she did not. She did not. In the closings, the prosecutor said this person manipulated the circumstances with her guile and deception. If she's the one who's going to write the emails, or if she's the one who's going to write the ending to this, it's going to be just like the movie, isn't it? The problem is you're going to write the ending, the jury. She isn't.
Yeah.
So the defense says, the movie? Give me a break. I mean, that is desperation. Conjecture, speculation, suspicion, innuendo. That's the package the state has presented here.
Okay.
2 days of deliberation, and she said that it was hard in court because they interviewed her because she's out. She said, my attorney always told me to be stoic in court, even during the trial. Just be stoic. So I'd sit there and try to be stoic, which I laugh at now because that got twisted into cold, manipulative bitch. Look at her. No, I was being stoic. That was my stoic look. She said, you don't know what it's like to be told that you are the devil woman. From the beginning, people told me I'm too thin-skinned. You need to toughen up. Let it roll off your back like water. You're a duck. I thought I wanted to be like that for it not to bother me, but it always does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was a model. I know all the faces.
I know the shit. She is found guilty of first-degree murder as well. And in the sentencing here, she said, quote, I have no criminal history. I'm not a violent person. It hurt me that the family would think I did it. I just want to go home. I'm sorry.
I want to go home.
This is after her whole bullshit. She said, Your Honor, I'd like to introduce myself to you. I sat here in your courtroom and never had the chance to tell you about myself. I'm not the monster that's been painted by the prosecution. And I'm a business owner. My
home.
kids. She talks about cooking. She talks about fucking making pizzas with her kids and shit. Like, that's great.
Jesus Christ.
The judge said, yes, I do note that you have lived a good life for the last 10 years and you have a loving daughter and family and husband and people that count on you and all this type of thing. But the reason you were able to live that life is because you were getting away with murder constantly. So he said that, but Kent had no such chance since he was deprived of those years. You, ma'am, may fuck off 99 years in jail. No chance of parole until she's 68 years old.
99 to life, right? Is that what that is?
It's 99 max, so it's 35 years till parole.
Holy.
So, yeah, her attorney said it's a blow. It's a huge blow. Kind of rocks my world, to tell you the truth. And the detective, Branchflower, said, it amazes me that people actually think that she's able to continue to pull this off with folks. That's not me stopping. That's her stopping. They said, this is crazy. Scott Hilke said that, I think she's inherently evil.
Yeah, I think so too, Scott.
I believe that, to this day that I was a mark from the get-go. I'm the lucky one. I wasn't involved in any crimes and I'm not dead. He's right.
And she used him as a cover when she did do bad shit. That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy. They talked to Colin saying now he's a single dad and this is terrible and we have to get her out. Now, there's a question though. During multiple times they talked to John Carlin IV, they figured out that Carlin IV, young Carlin, knew that Kent had been shot in the stomach. That wasn't released to the public, none of that information. So they were wondering that they didn't tell anybody about those wounds. So they said either the father told him that or that's the option that we don't know. So,
oh boy.
Michelle goes to prison. She gets work as an 85 cents an hour sewing uniforms job.
Perfect.
She does that. She said it was the most normal job she could find in there. She learned how to, get lip gloss and shit like that in the black market in prison. She would try to get fresh fruit and vegetables. She could order shit from Costco, which is weird. Huh? Yeah, she's able to order food from Costco. You can order. I didn't know you could order in Amazon fucking box cuts. Crazy. So she uses her iron that she ordered from Costco also to make ham and cheese croissant paninis in jail.
I love that.
She's making croissant paninis.
Baby, that is called
Come on,
it's called
man.
prison sandwiches.
That
That's
is
not
a-
croissant panini.
Fuck me. She says she likes reading the New Yorker and Atlantic Monthly and whatever books her friends give her. She did end up in the hole a couple times for breaking the rules, including having chewing tobacco.
What?
She said it was for bartering, not for herself. It was to trade for other people, which makes sense. She said that she wakes up with nightmares and, says, oh, my God, it's real. I'm really here. She's in an 8 by 10-foot cell. She gets 15-minute phone calls with her husband. That's it. Yeah.
She's really doing it.
She said that, not being able to control and structure was the hardest part for her. John Carlin.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Well, he does a jailhouse interview. He says now that the reason that Kent had all these problems is because TT, quote, was a homosexual that was very unhappy with being a homosexual. He portrayed very openly a macho man imagery, but he was very effeminate. I remember once when the Avon man came to the door, he actually ran around Michelle, who was walking to the door, to get it, and he got 2 of everything. He sat there and put lotion on his feet and lotion on his head.
Okay.
Maybe
So
he's
he likes-
dry.
Maybe he likes soft skin, sir.
Yeah.
Only gay men use Avon?
Fuck, man. He says that he did own a .44 caliber Desert Eagle. Now he admits it from jail. Yeah. And he said that he didn't admit it because he said it looked like the people were coming after him, the cops. And he said, that looked very bad for me. So I lied. He said that he was under intense scrutiny. He couldn't help it. He goes, and it probably was the murder weapon, but I didn't use it as that. He said, he said, it'll just look bad for me. He said, I found that gun. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. John found that gun in the closet, his son. And I heard Michelle yelling, don't touch it, don't touch it. So John Carlin Sr. said as he rounded the corner, he came face to face with Michelle that was now worried his fingerprints were on the gun, and that's why he washed it, to get his son's fingerprints off. And he said he got rid of the gun by throwing it into a dumpster.
So his son is maybe lying?
Well, he also says that he's sure about this. He said that might be the murder weapon, but I didn't kill him, and I know this. Michelle certainly didn't pull the trigger. They said, well, who did then? And he said, good question, but it wasn't me.
My son's fingerprints may be on it.
Wow. They said, why does Michelle continue to fascinate you? And he said, it's indefinable. Whatever she needs to be, she is. You'll never, ever sit down and get Michelle. You will never, not now, not 10 years from now, you will never get Michelle. You will never get what she wants at that particular time to portray to you. She's herself.
You don't understand. She's hot as fuck. You don't understand.
2008, John Carlin is in prison here. When he first gets there, apparently he's real racist and he talks shit to Native Alaskans a lot. Like, he got in trouble in jail. They were like, dude, you're going to get fucking killed in here if you keep fucking talking shit to the natives. And apparently he is severely beaten in September 2007 after changing the fucking TV channel from what everybody was watching.
You don't do that, man.
Don't do that. He was beaten by 4 Native inmates. There. A guard reported that Carlin told him he was lying on his bunk watching TV when 4 men, one of whom who had letters tattooed on his knuckles, that seems fair for guys in prison, rolled in and beat him up, he said. So they beat him up there. Shortly after he goes to Gen Pop, he's attacked again. So he wrote a letter to the Anchorage Daily News saying he needed to be moved or protected before the other prisoners killed him. He said that his problem stemmed in part from the visits he received from national television networks and all that kind of shit. Then, in 2008, he is murdered in jail. He's beaten to death in prison from blunt force trauma.
You could have just shut your mouth, dude, and not angered the guys.
Multiple inmates beat him to death. It's his 3rd severe beating in 2 years, and finally he died.
That's a man that loves to watch TV.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
He was appealing during that case. So his conviction is thrown out because he's dead.
My.
And he died the Aaron Hernandez rule thing. So that no longer exists, his murder conviction. Completely gone.
He's
it never happened.
Man.
2010, Michelle appeals, okay? Appeals based on several incidents, especially the the last seduction, the thing that they did with the movie, the thing that they did with the letters. They say that is over the top. They reverse her conviction. They have to try her again. Now, new trial. They can't use anything on John Carlin because legally his conviction does not exist.
Oh my God!
So legally, it's just her, and they have to prove she murdered someone without another person to put on her. So they said that the judge says my sense of the case with her is that it was built on the foundation of John Carlin's conviction. That's certainly going to affect the presentation of the case, and it may well affect how the juries react to the case. So she is released from jail pending new charges. And she says, I have to stay within the Anchorage Bowl. My curfew is 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. She has to wear an ankle monitor and all that shit. She said, I have so much restored faith in people and in the system, but I don't want to be naive again. So 2011, authorities with no evidence dismiss her murder indictment. They have no other way to do it.
No.
They can bring it up again, but probably not. So she is let out on bail. Brian Watt, an executive, donated $25,000 for her bail money, and an Anchorage strip club owner and businessman put up his motel as collateral for the bail.
The Alaskan Bush founder.
Oh, my God. She said she was leery taking presents from strange men, but then she realized, she's used to it, so it's fine.
I do that kind of thing.
Yep. So now John Carlin, the fourth, sues the prison and gets $160,000 in a wrongful death settlement for her father. Now, Michelle tries to go back to life as she knows it, but she ends up splitting up with Colin, and they still worked together as of a few years ago at a skincare clinic that they ran jointly. So, yeah. This is interesting.
They split up because she called him a homosexual.
I'm sure she would now. So she's out on bail, and she's done. That's it. She gets away with it. Everybody's like it never happened.
Unbelievable.
This has been on a lot of shows too. Dateline, Oxygen did a Snapped. They did a 48 Hours. E did a thing. People Magazine. There's a book called Dead Man's Dancer, the Michelle Linehan story. There's a bunch of stuff, but this is a crazy-ass story, and it needed to be covered thoroughly, I feel like, and that is
wow,
fucking wild. So everybody walks. She did 2 years in jail for this, and that's it. She's gone.
Next time you get a lap dance, you don't love her, man.
You don't love. Next time you get a lap dance, don't look them in the eye. That's
never
the thing.
look them in the eye.
That they don't want to make eye contact with you. You don't want to make you look at their tits. Make this a transaction that both of you can appreciate and understand. Put it that way, because she doesn't love you and you shouldn't love her. That is Hope, Alaska. Everybody, I have lost all my hope. If you like that, we'll go through this real quick. Check out or get on whatever app you're on. Give us 5 stars. It really does help a lot. Keep an eye out also for our new podcast, Your Stupid Opinions About Reviews from all over the internet. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get tickets to all your live shows. April 20th, 420 virtual live show. Get your tickets now. It's available for 7 days after that to watch, purchase, do whatever you want with as well. May 5th, we're in Detroit. May 6th, we're in Pittsburgh. Get your tickets to all of those. Also, follow us on social media at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, as well as definitely head over to patreon.com/crime and sports, where you get all the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get access to everything. Huge back catalog, 2 new ones every week. This week for crime and sports, it's personal ad time.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. We can't wait. Here people tried to sell themselves in the newspaper to get fucked in the 80s. And then for Small Town Murder, BTK's childhood, pretty much in his own words, creepy as fuck. Check that out. That is patreon.com/crime and sports. Get in there. And if you do that, you'll also get a shout out. When does that shout out happen?
Now.
Right motherfucking now. Jimmie hit me with him like a desert eagle to the face.
This week's executive producers are Jens Christian Kraus or Jans. What is that? Jens? Is it Jens?
Jens?
Yeah. It's got to be
Jens. Is he Pittsburgh?
Right?
I don't know. Thank you, Jens and Jens and Jens and Jens. We appreciate it.
Shannon Short, Raptor 1, happy birthday. Obviously, that is from Raptor 2.
Clearly.
They talk to each other in Raptor 1 and Raptor 2.
Raptor 1 and Raptor 2.
Don't do that in bed. That's weird.
No, that'd be weird.
Soggy Bottom Soaps. Buy soaps from them, I suppose. Rex 500R, I imagine he rides a Honda. That sounds right. Dylan Glukert. Glue? It's a fucking fascinating name, Dylan. Other producers this week are the Fat Penguin from the Blues Brothers, Peyton Meadows, Robert Tosky, Ivan the Polish Hammer, Polish.
Putski. Yeah.
Who is he?
Ivan Putski. He's a wrestler from the 70s and 80s.
He's a Polish Hammer.
He's the Polish power, Ivan Putski.
Yeah, Polish and Polish are spelled the exact same way.
They are. You really have to look at context when you're reading that word.
Confusing.
Yeah.
Could be the Polish hammer. Well, there's a Polish hammer, right? It's a tool.
You dumb Pollock.
Mitch Cumstein.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's very
Turge.
nice.
Turhi. Thorson Holland. Turge.
Yeah. Thank you.
Eros Whiskey and Tequila at Centeno Kennels. Edward Gatto, the cat. Matthew Reinbold, Janice Hill, Aaron Bridges, Tammy Brown, Buffy Riley, Phil DeGrief, Phil your DeGrief, Kathleen Lincoln, Alex Fichera, Sarah Mock, Jesselyn DeGroff, Ethan Page, David Huwalt, Andrew Henriquez. Henriquez? I've never heard that one. I've heard of Enrique. All right. Kara Kirby. Lyle.
What do you want? You heard of Pietragallo before you met me? Probably not.
That name doesn't exist, Andrew. How dare you?
Dare you?
Lyle North. Lucas Kirby. Crystal Dawn. Foxhound 11. Kristen with no last name. Riley Sereno. Billy Niner. Joanna Renee. Alicia Reynolds Manier. Karen Gridley. Ricky Newell. Cheryl Augusto. Jake Plotz, Michael Sturgis, Amanda Stemp, Corey Long, Sex Spam, 86, Jake Logan, Josh Craig, Erica Plachter, Jeff M., Andrea Gillette, and Jeremy Ames, Smalls with no last name, Alicia with no last name, David Jaskula, Patrick with no last name, Marissa Dillon, June Morris, Miss Birchstead. Oh, she was going to bring devil dogs to you somewhere. I forget where. You needn't do that, James.
Oh, I have devil dogs now.
Has so
I
many
live in New
devil
York.
dogs.
I can get them any day, right down the street. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Todd Layton, A with no last name, just the letter A. Doug M. Marie with no last name. This show brought to you by the letter A. Stanley Pierre, Miss Kelsey Galbraith, Tina Lucignolo. Luzinolo? How do you even say that? Jennifer Wilson, John Kelly, Christopher Steininger, Christopher and Carmela Starat, Laura with no last name, Heather Leger, Gadmar, G, Beach Klein, Tiffany Jones, Spencer Duncan Cook, Paula Lundstrom, Elena Ewaltz, Megan Hendrickson, Dwayne Drury. Fuck, that's a tough one. John Nieswender? I don't know. Simone Hawkins. Courtney Sassone. Annalise DePeel. That's French, yes. Dr. Gip. Melinda Noble. Mark Cole. Chris with no last name. Jennifer Keefe. D. Paul Guyette. Jason Solling. Sarah M. Amy Hills. Amy His. Hala Alza. What is it?
I don't know. I said, sure. Why not?
Okay. I thought you said
be whatever.
share.
Call yourself whatever you want. I don't know.
Hala Alzabi, Derry Sharpton, Lucy with no last name, Luke with no last name, Arlo Chrisman, Terry Henderson, Tim Ruggiero, Chris Jones, Todd Shamblin, Nevin Otley, Amy Gustafson, Kyle Franklin, Robert Polstlewaite, Aaron Chaffee, Brenda Crump, Kat Sutton, Suzanne Schmidt, India Hauser, Sadie McIver. Is that maybe like Bonavide? Okay. Kelly Carjaw.
You try to figure it out as you're on the fly. Like you're going to get to the bottom of it.
Kelly Cargelati, Bella Mazzari.
Yeah.
Jamie Stevens, Donna Edwards, Brandy Mendel, Dragon's Fire, Kristen Scobie, Princess Cluse, Brooke Gerzinia? What broke Gerzinia? Okay, maybe it's Brooke. Charles Berman,
Broke
III.
Gerzinia? I don't know.
Cecilia Fasano, Ben with no last name, Sarah Edgar, Elizabeth Carey, Isabel Gabrielle, Greg with no last name, Carla Dorina, Gabriel. Isabel Gabriel, that's what it is. Kyle Hart, Kim Hollander, Ryan Milligan, Anthony Davis, probably not that one. Megan Rose, Josh Escamilla, Angel J, Alicia Lawrence, MJ Vieira, Eric England, Jake Keller, Karen Elise, Ryan Hagen, Mike Kellogg, Paul Gutierrez III, Dirty D, gross, Terrell with no last name, Jaylee, Scotty with no last name, Scotty Gaviola, Jody Clinkerton Valesky, wow, Nina Slowinska, Ashley Fife, Paul Sipar, what is that? CIPA, Sipar, the second, sound it out, Whisman.
What is
Chloe Hopkins, Jace Grandquist, Thomas with no last name, Veronica with no last name, Kate with no last name, Stacy Collins, Hollow Rain, Raymond Roberts, Justin Bone, Christy Massey, Ashley Bosch, Frederick Commandy, James, nope, that's Smith James. Is that James Smith? Jackson with no last name, Candy Long, Meredith Krieger, Misty in L-Town, Noel Rossi, it might be I-Town, I don't know. No, BJ
Rossi.
Vogel, Insane Assassin, Jay Bird, Tara C, and all of our patrons, you're fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Want to get a hold of us? Real easy to do. Shutupandgivememurder.com is how you find the links to follow us on social media and do everything like that. Keep doing that. Keep coming back and seeing us. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.